.com, and the entry form is on the very front page.
It's just that simple.
For contest rules, visit our website, WTMJ.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
The Bucks head into the desert to outshine the Suns.
Here's a great feed. Lillard feeds Giannis, and Giannis rams it home on a tremendous two-man action there.
Our coverage starts tonight at 8:30. We are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Six o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, March 24th, our top story, a tragic death on the Marquette campus.
I'm Michelle Richards, in for Eric Bilstad, back in court to defend deportations.
I'm Adam Roberts, in for Debbie Lazaga, and your roads this morning are looking fantastic. Lots of green on the map, no incidents on the board, free and clear this Monday morning. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Could see some flurries to the north of the city today. Decreasing clouds and a high of 44 degrees will be on the breezy side as well. Mostly clear tonight with a low down to 29. Right now, right at the freezing mark, 32 degrees. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a tragedy in the Marquette community.
Police found a student dead in his off-campus apartment Thursday evening. 21-year-old John Kozer lived at Campus East on 14th and Wells. He was a senior, just weeks away from graduating from the College of Business Administration. Kozer was double majoring in finance and marketing and worked as a student employee at the Union Sports Annex. His death is still being investigated. The university is planning a mass to honor Kozer this week. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A man from Milwaukee arrested in Two Rivers for stabbing a child. 22-year-old Dominic Liggins is accused of stabbing a girl in the chest at a home near 21st and Madison Street. Two Rivers Police and Manitowoc County Sheriff's Office responded to the home Saturday night. A SWAT team arrived and a brief standoff occurred before Liggins was taken into custody. The girl was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Liggins could face charges of recklessly endangering safety, physical abuse of a child, false imprisonment, and bail jumping.
A Dane County inmate attempted to take his own life Sunday morning. 42-year-old placed something around his neck and the cell bars. Deputies intervened and took him to the hospital. As a precaution, he did not have major injuries.
The Trump administration returns to court this morning over a deportation policy. CBS's Derek Waller.
The Trump administration is back in court today, this time for oral arguments in its appeal of federal Judge James Boasberg's decision to temporarily block the use of the 1798 Alien Enemies Act in their push to quickly deport alleged Venezuelan gang members without due process. Attorney General Pam Bondi says the case could go all the way to the Supreme Court. The president continued attacking the judge on social media over the weekend. His border czar, Tom Homan, says the administration will abide by court orders in the case, while adding that deportation efforts will not stop. Overnight, multiple Department of Homeland Security officials confirmed to CBS News that a removal flight carrying nearly 200 Venezuelan migrants, some of them alleged gang members, landed in Venezuela Sunday.
The administration argues it deported the alleged gang members under the Wartime Alien Enemies Act, claiming the planes were already in international waters when the initial ruling was made.
U.S. and Russian negotiators meeting once again in Saudi Arabia. They're working on a partial ceasefire in Ukraine. ABC's Guy Davies following the developments.
Talks between the U.S. and Russia taking place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia this morning, aimed at finding a framework to end the war in Ukraine. U.S. officials spoke to a Ukrainian delegation on Sunday. Ukraine's defense minister saying those talks were productive. But all this hinges on what Moscow will demand to end the war and what the Ukrainians are willing to give up.
Ukraine and Russia agreed in principle last week to a limited ceasefire. Both leaders spoke with President Trump, but the parties have offered different views of what targets would be off limits to attack.
A mortgage firm in Madison has been named the best company to work for in the whole country.
That company is Fairway Mortgage, independent company, 5,000 employees in all 50 states. Founded in 1996 by Steve Jacobson, Fairway was also recently named a top workplace by Forbes magazine. And good Wisconsin company on the list, 50 Wisco companies making the list, including Quick Trip, Associated Bank, West Bend Insurance, and Menominee Falls-based Altosham. Fannie Mae and Progressive made the list on the national side. John Merkier, WTMJ News.
Coming up, getting that treat for under $1. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News, time 6:04.
This report is sponsored by CertaPro Painters.
Painting your house is a big job. You want it done right. John Merkier here. Do what I did. Go with the professionals, the best in the business at CertaPro Painters. They do inside, they do outside, and they do it right every single time. As a matter of fact, right now, they've got a spring sales event going on through May 15th. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated, and they do everything the right way. Schedule your free estimate online right now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
When the prodigal son ran out of money and was eating from the pig trough, he didn't have much hope things would get better. However, the son's father welcomed him home with open arms. This is Archbishop Jeffrey Grob. During this Jubilee year, the Holy Father has asked us to be signs of hope for others. For the poor and the elderly, a sign of hope could be a meal, a visit, or even just a warm smile from one stranger to another. This Lent, let's show others this kind of hope and share the love of Jesus. Please join us at Mass.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News, time 6:06.
Celebrating a national title on the ice. Sports at 6:15.
Pope Francis is back at home in the Vatican and expected to rest for the next 2 months. This after being treated for pneumonia in both of his lungs at a Rome hospital for the past 5 weeks. ABC's Lionel Moise.
Some still concerned about his health.
Bueno, se enfermó.
This nun from Colombia saying, "Today I had the joy of seeing him. I was very happy, but at the same time, I felt sad because he didn't look well." Doctors say the Pope's condition has stabilized enough to return to his Vatican residence, but he will still need treatment, including oxygen and physiotherapy.
Skilled trades becoming a popular career choice for the next generation of workers. Every year, more than 300,000 students start their training. Skills USA, a student organization that coordinates competitions judged by industry professionals. State Director for the Wisconsin chapter, Jake Mim, telling WTMJ.
Students are asked to put together a resume, so that has to be printed and ready to go, and they hand that to the technical chairs, so that's reviewed. And then they either have to do a job interview or they are explaining or being interviewed about a certain process that they did within their skilled trade.
This year, students can advance to over 70 competitions at the national level.
Dairy Queen is celebrating its 85th birthday. CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
Starting today, Dairy Queen Rewards members can score 85-cent Blizzard treats with a $1 purchase. It marks Dairy Queen's 85th birthday. The sweet deal lasts through April 6th, which means next week, Blizzard lovers can use it to try out the company's new and returning summer flavors.
Small blizzards typically cost around $6, so the 85-cent deal is well worth the bargain, but it is exclusively available through the Dairy Queen app, and it requires a minimum purchase of $1, so you can't just walk in and get your 85-cent blizzard. You got to buy something else.
Okay, how about some fries with that?
Sure.
With something else or a couple of blizzards?
Yeah.
Does that apply to total purchase? Work it out. That's a deal. 6:08 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
He's Donald Trump's right-hand man, Elon Musk. And now Musk is trying to buy Brad Schimmel a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Because Musk knows when you buy Schimmel, he'll do whatever you want. Like when Schimmel gave a plea deal to a man caught with child porn after the man's lawyer gave Schimmel thousands of dollars. And Schimmel will ban abortion with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of the mother. Deeply corrupt and totally extreme. That's the real Brad Schimmel. There's a better choice.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I've made sure rapists, murderers, and child predators were behind bars.
Protecting your family and your most basic rights. That's Judge Susan Crawford.
And I trust women to make their own healthcare decisions. Brad Schimmel doesn't, but I always will.
So on April 1st, vote for Judge Susan Crawford, Supreme Court. Paid for by Susan Crawford for Wisconsin.
6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Debbie off this week. Adam's watching the cars for us this morning.
That's right, Vince. And the watch so far has been a good one because there's no major incidents or delays. Lots of light volume to be seen across the system and green as well. So your drive this morning is looking pretty good. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A couple flurries possible for you this morning with high temperatures in the mid-40s this afternoon, decreasing clouds late with some gusty winds out of the northwest. Tonight, mostly clear skies, low temperatures falling into the upper 20s with lighter winds. Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds, small chance for a sprinkle mainly down to our southwest with highs in the mid-40s. Mid-40s on Wednesday with partly cloudy skies, then warmer on Thursday, mostly cloudy with high temperatures in the mid-50s. As we get into Friday, more 50s with a chance for some rain showers. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee right now at 32 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Michelle Richards.
6:11 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Yes, Michelle in for Eric, Adam in for Debbie, Tiff in for Adam, Pancakes here, and I'm Vince Vitrano in for myself. Today, Tesla is taking the state of Wisconsin to court.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Kind of an interesting case here. Tesla v. State Department of Transportation et al. Court hearing today in Outagamie County is scheduled for later this morning. Have you ever seen a Tesla dealership in Wisconsin?
No.
I'll let you think about that for a second. We've seen plenty of cars,
yes,
plenty of Teslas, even some Cybertrucks on the road, but you haven't seen a Tesla dealership in Wisconsin. You may have seen a showroom, but you've not seen a dealership. You know why? Because we don't have any. You know why? Because Tesla owns and operates its own dealerships, and that is not allowed in the state of Wisconsin. So Tesla is suing Wisconsin in court. State here does not allow automakers to stand up their own dealerships. They have to work through an affiliation with an independent auto dealer. So
you're not going to see the Toyota dealership.
That is correct, right? Toyota doesn't have its own dealerships. Right. There's Heiser Toyota, if you want to go get one, or many other family dealerships that we know very well here in southeast Wisconsin. Some of them long time in serving our community, but that's the relationship. You have to go through this third party, and that's state law in Wisconsin. It's state law in many other places as well. So how do you get a Tesla? Well, you have to go through other means. You either have to go to a state where that's allowed, order it from there. And I don't know if people go down and pick them up or if they have them delivered or how that works if you've bought a Tesla. That's one way. I think you can order directly from the company, figure out a delivery there, but you can't go to a dealership in the state of Wisconsin. And we're in this standoff right now where the state is saying, we're not budging on this. This is how we roll. And Tesla apparently is not interested in engaging in these third-party relationships. I talked with Jim Token, and he's the president of Milwaukee. What is it, Adam? Automobile Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee or Metro Milwaukee, depending on how you want to say it. They have their branding in a couple different ways, to be honest with you. But either way.
Both of those sound right.
So he represents, all of the dealerships. And obviously he has an interest in continuing the relationship that we have with auto dealers and wants that to stay as it is. But he told me when I spoke with him a few weeks ago, just before the auto show, he's like, there are plenty of auto dealers here in Wisconsin, southeast Wisconsin in particular, who would love to have a Tesla dealership, but that's not the arrangement, and Tesla doesn't want to do it. So that's where we are right now. In some states, even where they have laws, what Tesla has been able to do is get exemptions. So they were able to, in a variety of states, stand up a dealership, even though that state has laws otherwise. So they get some sort of special exemption. Heretofore, Wisconsin has not granted that, so they're trying to get that done. Some have suggested this is precisely the reason that Elon Musk is so interested and invested in the outcome of the state Supreme Court race. He is supporting Judge Brad Schimmel of Waukesha, and that case could possibly end up before the state Supreme Court. We're a long ways from that. It's a motions hearing today in Outagamie Court. 6:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry. If you're looking for a new dentist, you should check out my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economowoc Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he will prioritize your needs no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. If you're due for a dental visit, Economowoc Dental Care has an $89 new patient special, so you can get the care that you need at an affordable price. In addition to my exam, Dr. Michael's staff provided a gentle, professional cleaning that left my mouth feeling smooth and rejuvenated. Listen, we all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economowoc Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224. Start 2025 on a good note by feeling confident about your smile and go see my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economowoc Dental Care.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The Wisconsin Badgers are women's hockey national champions this morning.
Here comes Eden, looking, fired, save made, rebound, scores! Sims wins the national championship in overtime.
ESPN on the call. Kirsten Sims scored on a penalty shot to tie the game at 3 with just under 18 seconds left, then scored minutes into sudden death overtime to lead Wisconsin past the Ohio State University. Wisconsin's second national title in the last 3 years, 8 championships overall. Badger Sports Updates, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. College basketball tournament down to the Sweet 16. Marquette out. Wisconsin out. UW Green Bay women out. I picked St. John's to win it all. They're out. Bracket busted. This college basketball tournament update is brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Nothing else to say on that. Bucks continue their Western roadie with a 9 p.m. tip tonight against the Suns in Phoenix. Milwaukee not back home here at Fiserv Forum until Friday night. 8:30 pregame here on your home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ tonight. Brewers play their final spring training game this afternoon. We've got the Rockies coming up at 2:10. So we open the season against the Yankees in New York on Thursday. Home opener is a week from today at American Family Field. You can expect to see more things happening around the ballpark this season.
You know, we're going to try to look to do more things to activate our game experience, if you will, bring it out to the lot.
Brewers President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger. Like what? So pregame party at that pedestrian bridge that comes over from the east lots. Drumline, in-game hosts, Brewers mascots, DJs stationed out there, and near the clock tower as well. The Brewers will look to do more things like this through the season.
We want people, when they park, we want them to start feeling that they're going to be entertained, they're going to be excited, and we want that feeling to start as soon as they're in the parking lot.
So the Brewers will break camp and then head out to New York for Thursday's game against the Yankees. I think this is one of those where they don't even come home. Like, and think about these guys who maybe were just on the bubble to make the roster. You know, like, are we coming back? Do I get to find a place to live in Milwaukee? Like, what's all that uncertainty? It's a good problem to have if you've made the roster. But nonetheless, that is all playing out early this week against Brewers and Yankees to open the season on Thursday.
Spanning the State with Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
If I had to see the same amount of ads, I would rather those ads
actually informing you?
Yes. Tell me what that candidate is going to do, not made up garbage about what the other one did in your fantasy world. That's not what I want.
Tell us what you're going to do. How are these people supposed to campaign given what the nature of the job is? They're going to respond to the cases that come in front of them.
Yes.
Stop talking about the other person. We want to be more informed.
Only on WTMJ.
Our front hall closet is complete with Inspired Closets Milwaukee. My in-laws were in just the other day. Mother-in-law came in the house. As first, I forget because now it's been there, and she walks in the house. Wow. What are you looking at? Oh, yes, the closet. It's all done. Couldn't stop talking about this. Walking in the front door, feeling like she's in a brand new space. It's amazing how knocking out our dated old closet and replacing it with white woodwork, modern finishes, and functional design has changed the first impression everyone has when they walk in our home. This is the great part about working with my friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Never had even occurred to me to open up the space like that. My wife and I sat down with them, told them about what we disliked about the current setup, how we wanted our design to look, and they came up with something that we'd never even thought of. Cut the clutter, calm the chaos, add beauty and function to your home. Tell them Vinny sent you to Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Your stress-free spring break trip starts in your driveway with Go Right Way, Wisconsin's largest chauffeured fleet. Start your vacation as soon as you leave your house by letting Go Right Way handle your rides to and from Mitchell Field or O'Hare. Luggage? Go Right Way has it. Traffic? Go Right Way handles it. Parking hassles? You won't miss them. Go Right Way's professional, on-time chauffeurs are background checked and their vehicles are premium and meticulously cleaned. Your journey starts with a ride you can trust. Book your ride today at GoRightWay.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
6:20 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Adam's in for Debbie, watching the morning traffic. What do you see, bud?
Well, Vince, not a whole lot. It is in a very smooth drive. Just a little bit of volume starting to build up on 94, as you would expect as we get towards the morning drive here. Other than that, though, we're looking very good. No incidents and no delays right now. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ forecast for today could see a few flurries early this morning, primarily north of the city. Then we'll see decreasing clouds. We'll stay on the breezy side with a high of 44 degrees. Mostly clear, low down to 29 tonight. Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds, high 45. Wednesday, quiet weather continues under partly cloudy skies with a high of 46. Mostly cloudy on Thursday, but our temperatures back up into the 50s, high of 54 Thursday. Friday's high 55 with a chance of rain. Right now, right at the freezing mark, 32 in Milwaukee. At 6:21 on this Monday morning. Week 2 begins today for Dr. Brenda Casilius, leading the state's largest school district. She begins her career with MPS as several schools remain closed for lead remediation. School resource officers now back in MPS buildings, and the district's finances still a work in progress. And that's the friendliest way to put it. WTMJ's Adam Roberts in studio with us this morning. Adam, you had a chance to sit down and talk one-on-one with the super.
I did, and of course, the intrepid reporter that I am, I started off with the most pressing question that I possibly could. Is there any restaurant in particular that's caught your fancy yet? If not, I can give suggestions.
I was at Saz's, which I guess is the best place to go for Milwaukee locals.
It's a pretty safe choice.
Okay,
You could maybe go
well
a little
done.
deeper cut, but all right, Saz's platter at Summerfest, not a bad one. But in all seriousness, yes, you kind of laid it bare, Vinny. There's a lot that the new super has to deal with, and we're only just a couple of weeks in. But already getting down to business, telling me she's hired 2 new members to her administration. One of them, pretty familiar face for the district, 30-year vet, former director of business operations, Mike Terza. That's important because he's leading, she tells me, the comprehensive lead plan that they will be submitting to the Milwaukee Health Department. Now, keep in mind, this week we still have 3 schools that are closed as they undergo lead mitigation efforts, and the district, as part of that plan, does plan, we believe, to test all schools as part of that larger plan going forward. So lots to tackle in that world. You also mentioned financial matters, and a lot of those issues, Vince and Michelle, you'll recall, were brought up by the audit that was commissioned by Governor Tony Evers. And Dr. Casilius tells me that is top of mind for her to address now.
Of course, on my mind is how do we address the governor's operational audit, and so that we have a lean, efficient organization that really responds to the public's trust and uses money well and gets it out to students and classrooms. and that we ensure that there's a caring and competent teacher in every single classroom this fall.
This audit, if you forgot, was the one released in February. Among other things, it noted the district's ongoing issues were compounded by, quote, a long-standing culture of fear and reluctance to change. I remember when that first came out, though, that obviously was the headline catcher for me and for others as well.
It makes you think of the joke, the old SNL bit. Give it to me straight. That's about as straight as you can be.
Sure. I also asked Dr. Caselius, and this was something I wanted to dig in a bit, her openness to working with the mayor, Cavalier Johnson. In our city, the mayor is separate from MPSC. You'll certainly hear the mayor make comment, and we've certainly heard a lot from him on the issues of whether it's lead or SROs, but he'll often tag that with, well, you'll have to ask the district for their thoughts on this because I'm just the mayor. Well, Dr. Caselius hails from Boston, where she was a superintendent before this. In that city, the mayor appoints members to a committee and then selects candidates for positions like superintendent. So I asked her about working with the mayor.
I was introduced to his cabinet. He talked about it in the State of the City address. We're working together. I think that, we can work quicker, we can work smarter, we can work more efficiently, and make sure that we're connected and doing it in an equitable manner for all communities and all neighborhoods.
Important to note, there is no official relationship that's being inked out at this time.
Well, I don't know that we need an official relationship, but we need a relationship. And I have heard from sources close to both the mayor's office as well as the county exec's office that perhaps that relationship was not what they wanted it to be over the last several years in the previous administration, that they've offered help. Like, how can we help? And those meetings aren't taking place. Those conversations aren't taking place. MPS was just this island unto itself. And even though legislatively that may be the case, you still want partnerships. You take the help that's being offered.
And she at least is expressing an openness to that, which, in this position is probably the smart thing to do rather than say, I got this, because you probably need all the help you can get given what's going on. Now, this was something I really wanted to hit home with because on her first media day on Monday, I asked her this question I'm about to pose, and she gave kind of a quick answer, which I understand because a lot of people are peppering her with questions. But Michelle and Vince, you are both parents of children, and at one point you had to start making those decisions about where do I want my kids to go to school? Do I want them to go to District A, or do I want to move to be in District wherever? And anecdotally, as a young 30-something myself, my wife and I are starting to think about that as well. We both live here in the city of Milwaukee, but we're starting to make those decisions. Okay, when we start our family, where are we going to send our children? And so I asked the super, what is your message to those young parents that have to make that tough choice?
All my children went to their neighborhood public school. They never rode the yellow bus. They walked to their neighborhood public school, and they had a great experience, and they are doing well now.
Okay, fine, but also it's still a delicate balance. Last fall, remember, the district said we're shutting down up to 13 schools, or we may merge these schools. And so how are you juggling, we have so much to offer, but also we're pulling back what we're currently offering? So that has to be figured out still.
Well, and also the reality in Milwaukee is many students can't go to their neighborhood school because of how things are configured, dating back decades into desegregation and all of those things. Now you have, remember asking former Superintendent Bill Andrikopoulos, I'm like, what if you just wanted to end busing one day and just send everybody to school close to their house? And he told me, he's like, couldn't do that right now because he'd have too many students in one school and not enough students in another school. Like, it's so far into this, we bus all over the city, that we couldn't figure it out that way. At least it's not a finger snap. It's not that simple.
So work to be done, but week 2 begins for Dr. Caselius, and we have much more to learn going forward.
News about your money this morning, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Here's where we left things at the end of trading on Friday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average at 41,985. NASDAQ at 17,784. And the S&P 500 starts the week at 5668. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
This March, Heiser Automotive Group is putting the pedal to the metal with our Accelerate Your Refund sales and service event. Tax season is the best time to upgrade your ride or take care of your current vehicle. And we're making it easier than ever to turn your tax refund into turbocharged buying power. Accelerate into a newer used vehicle or get essential repairs and maintenance done. Plus, with Heiser's exclusive Safe and Sound program, you can buy and service with confidence, convenience, and peace of mind. Visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
IndyCar racing returns to the Milwaukee Mile at Wisconsin State Fair Park on August 23rd and 24th for the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250 weekend. Secure your seats in the grandstands for the best views of all the action. Plus, we've pulled out all the stops with incredible food and live entertainment in the epic free fan zone. Race tickets are on sale now at wistatefair.com. Get ready because IndyCar is back with the Snap-on Milwaukee Mile 250, August 23rd and 24th.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Landworks. Take a look outside and imagine the yard of your dreams. What do you see out there? Thriving plant life, immaculately edged beds, beautiful, healthy blooms. I got this at my place. It's thanks to Landworks. Take the guesswork out of your green space with landscape services from a good local company, Landworks. Their personalized landscaping plans are carefully designed to make your property shine throughout the season. Plan it now. Now's the time to contact Landworks today, the teams I trust in my yard. LandworksWisconsin.com.
6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Monday, March 24th. Our top story, plans to clean up lead in MPS.
I'm Michelle Richards. Multiple drunk driving arrests across southeast Wisconsin.
I'm Adam Roberts. Just one crash just reported in. It's on 94 West on the left shoulder of Highway 100, but it is out of the way of traffic. You should be all right moving through. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Morning flurries, high of 44 today.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Overnight deportation flights resumed as nearly 200 Venezuelans arrived in Caracas. Today, a three-judge panel in Washington will hear arguments over the Trump administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act to deport suspected Venezuelan gang members. ABC's Christian Cordero has more.
President Trump escalates his feud with federal judge James Boasberg, calling Boasberg a constitutional disaster on social media. Boasberg has set a hearing for today to, quote, get to the bottom of whether the administration ignored his order to turn around flights bound for El Salvador carrying Venezuelan immigrants.
The administration says it acted lawfully. Talks have resumed in Saudi Arabia between the U.S. and Russia, focused on ending the war in Ukraine. Ukraine not present at these talks. And genealogy company 23andMe filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Over the weekend, California's Attorney General reminded consumers of their right to delete genetic information. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, the plan to take on lead exposure in public schools presented to the Milwaukee City Health Department.
Milwaukee Public Schools submitted its plans to MHD, including its next steps to assess, address, and prevent lead hazards in district buildings. According to the submitted plans, MPS will prioritize older schools with the youngest learners for remediation first. The district has also hired 10 new staff members to help with lead cleanup and to help direct contracted employees. School inspections for lead across the district's oldest schools should be complete in May, but no details have yet been revealed on whether any other schools in the district are free of lead dust. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Several arrests for drunk driving in southeast Wisconsin over the weekend.
In Kenosha on I-94, a man was driving nearly 100 miles per hour with a child under 16 years old in the car. 33-year-old William Bush of Madison is now in custody for OWI third offense, felony bail jumping, and other charges. In the town of Addison on I-41, a 25-year-old man from Oshkosh reached nearly 130 miles per hour. He was arrested for OWI and speeding. In Jefferson County on I-94, state troopers arrested 49-year-old Malabay of Chicago for his 8th OWI offense. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Reckless driving crash in West Dallas left a teenager dead, 2 injured. This was on 5:45 Saturday evening, south 116th Street near Rainbow Park. West Dallas police say they got multiple calls of a vehicle driving recklessly. They arrived to find a car rolled over. One teenager suffered serious injuries and later died at the hospital. 2 other teens suffered minor injuries. No others were involved in that crash.
Gateway Technical College has dissolved its Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal, Timothy Gibbons, tells WTMJ.
The university's president said that it was a difficult decision and that the school does remain committed to its mission of serving all students and helping them on their path to success.
This is the latest institution to comply with federal guidelines threatening funding loss.
A missing inmate from Dane County is back in custody this morning. 33-year-old Anthony Gilbert was reported AWOL by police last week Wednesday, serving a sentence for obstructing justice and possession of methamphetamine, taken back into custody without incident.
Road closures begin today in Fox Point. Lake Drive will be closed from School Road to Dean Road for a utility project. Drivers will be detoured to Port Washington Road from Silver Spring Drive or Brown Deer Road. The DOT hopes to reopen the road by the end of August.
Traffic brought to you by Bumblebee Blinds. Visit them at bumblebeeblinds.com.
Bumblebee Blinds makes it easy to refresh your home. Book a free consultation today. Get high-quality blinds with professional guidance and stress-free installation. Bumblebee Blinds. Window treatments to buzz about.
Coming up, it's not the traditional way to lose weight.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 6:34.
Get 0% interest for up to 72 months. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
For Jenna, helping others find joy is so rewarding. It's why we love to do what we do.
I enjoy simplifying the process for the customer, taking the time to listen, and finding the right solution.
Randy understands that everyone's situation is different, so we don't just slap together cookie cutter solutions.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
Jake arrives at your free in-home consultation with pre-prepared materials to fully envision your dream Pella build.
We're with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Whether you're working with Ryan or another Pella consultant, we don't go away after the sale. We're ready with anything you may need before, during, and after installation. And right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for up to 72 months. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply at 3/31/2025.
The wait is over. Brewers baseball is back. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Be here for opening day. Come back for the big games and the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's opening day and every game, all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Brewers open the season later this week. Opening day at home a week from today. What's new at the ballpark? Sports at 6:45.
Guy from Rhode Island lost over 130 pounds.
Oh, nice job. Congrats.
Not with Ozempic, not with any other, traditional weight loss drugs or even like crazy exercise or anything. So he did it by eating Chick-fil-A every day.
What's he getting there?
A salad. Okay, he's getting a salad.
Well, let's start there.
It's the Southwest salad.
Okay.
And he also gave up alcohol. So since 2023, he went from 360 pounds to now being under 230. He says being able to help others by telling his story is the best thing he's ever done.
Being able to help other guys like me has been the most rewarding thing that I've ever done.
So I looked up the salad, and it's the salad has more calories than like some of the sandwiches. Like 600, okay, spicy Southwest salad, 680 calories.
It's a lot of calories for a
salad. Fried chicken sandwich is like under 500. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's what you're eating. You're eating your vegetables. I think he got it without the croutons too. So like
Wouldn't that save you 7 calories? Buddy, you're doing great. Mix in the croutons now. I don't want to derail them, but go ahead, splurge. Get those croutons.
Get the dressing on the side.
6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
If you're a woman looking to take control of your financial future, you are not alone. Women are leading the way in business and managing household finances, but challenges still exist. That's why Annex Wealth Management presents the Women in Wealth series every third Thursday. It'll empower you with knowledge and resources to succeed. Join us for collaborative discussions, community building, and learn about key areas of financial planning. Women in Wealth events are free every third Thursday. Sign up at annexwealth.com/events and bring a friend.
Spring is here. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Yeah, a lot of folks getting outside, and maybe you're looking forward to softball or tennis, or maybe one of your kids going out for a spring sport. Keep Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin top of mind. Now, that sounds bad, like nobody plans for injuries, but you should rest easy knowing that you've got a place to go, and when you get there, you're in good hands should an injury arise. Now available 7 days a week for walk-ins or 24/7 virtually. OAW specializing in total joint, spine, and sports medicine. And not only is Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin convenient, but know this, you're in the hands of the best doctors. 19 OAW physicians just named Milwaukee Lifestyle's top doctors of 2025. To experience their exceptional care and dedication to patients, it's Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
He's Donald Trump's right-hand man, Elon Musk. And now Musk is trying to buy Brad Schimmel a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Because Musk knows when you buy Schimmel, he'll do whatever you want. Like when Schimmel gave a plea deal to a man caught with child porn after the man's lawyer gave Schimmel thousands of dollars. And Schimmel will ban abortion with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of the mother. Deeply corrupt and totally extreme. That's the real Brad Schimmel. There's a better choice.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I've made sure rapists, murderers, and child predators were behind bars.
Protecting your family and your most basic rights. That's Judge Susan Crawford.
And I trust women to make their own healthcare decisions. Brad Schimmel doesn't, but I always will.
So on April 1st, vote for Judge Susan Crawford, Supreme Court. Paid for by Susan Crawford for Wisconsin.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield makes vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
20 minutes before 7 o'clock. Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com. Adam's watching the cars today.
That's right, Vince. And still just this one incident, and it's a minor one at that. Being reported as a crash, got two vehicles on the left shoulder on 94 West near Highway 100, and looks like it's out of the way of traffic. Doesn't even appear to be a squad on scene yet, so just be mindful of it as you're heading past there this morning out to the west. Everywhere else is looking really good. Volume is starting to pick up a little bit, especially on 94 and on 43 north and south between the Marquette and Capitol Drive. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A couple flurries possible for this morning with high temperatures in the mid-40s this afternoon, decreasing clouds late with some gusty winds out of the northwest. Tonight, mostly clear skies, low temperatures falling into the upper 20s with lighter winds. Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds, small chance for a sprinkle mainly down to our southwest with highs in the mid-40s. Mid-40s on Wednesday with partly cloudy skies, then warmer on Thursday, mostly cloudy with high temperatures in the mid-50s. As we get into Friday, more 50s with a chance for some rain showers. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 32 degrees. What's that saying? In like a lion, out like a lamb, or in like a lamb, out like a lion with spring, right?
Yes.
Well, we are definitely in like a lion. Tennis ball-sized hail in Texas, a devastating tornado in Mississippi, and today, North Carolina's on fire.
Happening today.
More on that severe weather in a moment, but first today, 6 wildfires burning in North Carolina, forcing mandatory evacuations. ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Just 6 months after Hurricane Helene hit western North Carolina, that same region is now seeing mandatory evacuations due to wildfires. 4,000 acres have now burned in Polk County, at least 4 homes destroyed.
We've got friends that are evacuating their homes in Lake Adger area because the fire's right on their heels, and they're coming here to stay at our home.
Storms headed east this morning after ravaging a small Mississippi town for the second year in a row, taking a direct hit from a twister. Dimbert from ABC on that.
People in Rolling Fork, Mississippi, assessing the damage from another tornado. The storm damaging multiple buildings and bringing down power lines. Long pieces of wood slicing into the ground like daggers. A strong storm devastated much of Rolling Fork 2 years ago this week. Back in March 2023, a tornado packing winds of nearly 200 miles per hour destroyed a third of all homes in Rolling Fork, killing 15 people.
I mean, I understand this is the time of year and that's a region of the country prone to tornadoes, but you got to be really unlucky to get a twister back-to-back years.
Have you ever seen
Right?
one?
Never seen one in person.
Me neither.
Super want to. Would love to go storm chasing sometimes. Niznansky said he'd take me. He's done it. I mean, I want to go with somebody who knows what they're doing. Right. Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, other parts of the country bracing for some extreme weather conditions as well. Let me get you this from WABC meteorologist Jeff Smith.
We're tracking this cross-country storm finally making its way to the East Coast this morning. We're talking about rainfall in the big cities along the I-95 corridor, Washington, D.C., all the way up to New York City, a very wet Monday morning commute. Snowfall upstate New York into central and northern parts of New England. That rainfall, by the way, will continue into the Boston area right through the evening commute as well before finally exiting off of the East Coast. Meanwhile, on the other side of the country, West Coast, we're dealing with record warmth. How about 95 today in Phoenix, getting up to 100 by tomorrow afternoon?
Wow. 100 degrees in Phoenix. I mean, granted, that's not unusual, but it is for this time of year. That's hotter than what they would normally expect
I was
in
just
spring.
there a month ago, and it was 60s, 70s.
I mean, can you imagine the Brewers actually anxious to get out of Phoenix in spring training?
We want some of that nice, humid Milwaukee weather.
Brewers are supposed to play at 2:10 this afternoon. For us, still on the windy side, partly cloudy and windy, high of 44 degrees today. 6:45, sports up next.
Your basement. Ooh, wall cracks. Oh no, seepage. And stains on the bottom of those walls. Terrifying. The only thing scarier than basement issues are businesses that prey on your fear over those terrifying foundational cracks. The team at Gatish Foundation never uses high-pressure sales tactics. Over 90% of Gatish Foundation's jobs are through referrals. So, for an honest opinion on the condition of your basement, call Gatish Foundation today. Spelled G-A-I-Dish. Gatish.com.
Have you seen them yet? If you have, you probably know what I'm talking about. The Box Elders are back. Vince Vitrano here for the Bugman. Queen Bee, your best local pest defense. Now, they're not back at my house because I got Adam and his team over there at Bugman to help us out. But Adam told me that when we start popping these warmer days like we've had, that's when those bugs start waking up. They're appearing on the windowsill, maybe the floor, on the sink. Got bad news for you. They likely spent the winter inside your walls. Ugh. The good news is the Bugman offers seasonal invader service, which will flush them out, take care of the problem before they all wake up and fill your home this spring. Let's stop the problem before it starts and get this local family veteran-owned and operated company out there based right here in West Dallas. 20% off your first service when you tell them Vinny sent you. Bugman, queenbee.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Brewers' home opener is 1 week from today. The team's final spring training game against the Rockies. What do we say for the high in Phoenix? 95 degrees today. That's this afternoon. The season opens Thursday with a 3-game series against the Yankees in New York.
Regardless of the temperatures or rain or snow or sleet, roof will be ready and we'll have a very temperate environment inside.
It could be any of those things, as we know.
It could be all of the above within a span of 2 hours.
Now, Brewers President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger looking ahead to the home opener week from today. After opening day, there are still some 80 home games this season. Maybe a record number of games with a little something extra for fans.
If you count our theme nights plus our promotional giveaway dates, there's probably, 25 dates when we either have a theme night or a giveaway item.
Star Wars, Harry Potter, those theme nights return. First theme night out of the gate is Hockey Night. Special ticket package includes a cool-looking Brewers Admirals hoodie. Tickets all on sale now. Brewers and Yankees 1:30 pregame show right here on Thursday afternoon. Your home of the Brewers baseball, 620 WTMJ. On the ice.
Hey, Badger fans, we just won the national championship. Let's go!
Let's go. Wisconsin women's hockey. Its 8th national title overall, 2nd in 3 years, and it was seriously in doubt Sunday afternoon. Wisconsin down by a goal with less than 30 seconds left, but a penalty shot for the Badgers. Kristen Sims with the puck.
Here is Sims moving in on Thiele to try to tie the championship game. Oh, what a move! She
ESPN on the call, 3-3 at that point. It was Sims again, just minutes into overtime, with a sudden death goal to beat The Ohio State University and claim the title for Wisconsin. Same three teams have played the last 3 years in the title match. Wisconsin, again, getting the better of the Buckeyes. Badger Sports Updates, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. 16 teams remain in the college basketball tournament.
The freshman queen who's driving, floats it. Oh! Maryland on the right side of a buzzer beater with life into the Sweet 16.
CBS Sports on that call. Maryland over Colorado State in an exciting finish Sunday, because we were not watching Marquette on Sunday as they go one and done in the tournament once again. Wisconsin lost a heartbreaker on Saturday, and in the women's bracket, UW Green Bay bounced as well. So that's it for our state teams. This college basketball tournament update brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. The Bucks and Suns and the Nuggets one more time as well before finally returning home at the end of the week.
I want a little bit of that momentum. I'm going to feed on it.
Week and a half long road trip out west. Milwaukee in Phoenix tonight. That's a 9 p.m. tip against the Suns.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
On 894 North, just before the National Avenue exit, the right lane is closed. There's a medical emergency, it looks like.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, on the WTMJ traffic tip line, 414-238-9329.
Hello, Debbie. 41 South, just before Capitol Drive. There are 2 cars involved in an accident.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. Are you wondering if you've saved enough to retire? Maybe you're not sure when the right time is to retire. Well, here's what you do. You don't leave it to guesswork. Get a plan. Since 2002, Drake & Associates has been guiding good people to make great decisions about their retirement. Their team helps people just like you to create a roadmap to retirement, offering comprehensive, holistic planning through their exclusive retirement roadmap. And right now, they're giving away a complimentary retirement toolkit. It includes Tony Drake's book, Get Retirement Ready, and 5 essential guides covering every key piece of your retirement plan. Don't wait. Call or text Drake, D-R-A-K-E, to 414-400-4692 to claim your free copy today. That's Drake to 414-400-4692 and secure your retirement future now.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Adam Roberts is watching the cars for Debbie with her off. What do you see, Adam?
Right now, still see some work being done on that 2-car crash on the left shoulder, 94 West near Highway 100. Looks like an SUV and a sedan involved with this. Still no squads on scene. Got the blinkers on, though, so just be mindful if you're driving past it. Elsewhere, a little bit of volume building up on 94 East and West between the Zoo and the Marquette, and 43 North and South between the Marquette and Capitol Drive. Also going to be tapping the brakes as you head through the hail to get onto 894, heading either north or to the east. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast, sponsored by Dave Dracamp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. We'll see some flurries this morning to the north, then decreasing clouds. Breezy today, a high of 44. Tonight, mostly clear, 29. Tuesday, sun and clouds, high of 45. Wednesday, partly cloudy skies, a high of 46. Thursday, mostly cloudy, 54. And Friday, a chance of rain and a high of 55.
Michelle Richards in for Eric the next few days. Eric's off for the week. It's not in Wisconsin this season, but there are Wisconsin ties.
Top Chef is back.
Let's cook, baby. Let's cook.
15 rising star chefs have come to Canada to compete in the ultimate culinary showdown.
Bravo's Top Chef back for another season, last staged largely around Milwaukee and southeast Wisconsin, some outstate recording as well, but the whole thing was based here in the Badger State. This season, the chef testants, as they're called, are competing in Canada, and one of them is one of ours.
My name is Kat Turner, and I'm from Los Angeles.
Now, hang on there, Kat.
What?
I said one of ours. Now, Kat Turner is currently an executive chef at a Los Angeles cafe. However, she is a Marquette University grad and originally from Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin.
Being from Wisconsin, everything I make needs to have some level of familiarity or accessibility. And I don't ever take myself too seriously. So, there's like food should be comforting, but also reflect this global lens that I've come to acquire from my years of traveling as a private chef.
So that's Chef Kat Turner. She spoke with WTMJ's Sandy Max on Sandy's show, What's on Tap, as the show is just a couple of episodes in so far. If you watch, you know, but things were super headed for disaster for our Wisconsin chef testant.
The winning chef of this first challenge is Vincenzo.
Congratulations, Vinny. You just won yourself immunity in the next elimination challenge.
Have you watched Chef Testant before? Like, you know how it works?
Top Chef,
Or
yes.
Top Chef, yeah, Chef Testant, Top Chef. You can tell I'm a huge fan. I was into it last time around just because it was in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
And so my interest was Chef Dan Jacobs, obviously, hoping that our guy would get through, but also just seeing the sights, seeing how our state played on this national stage. Well, the clip that I just played you was not the disaster. Kat didn't think she was going to win that challenge. So how it works is in every episode, they have these various challenges, and kind of like Survivor invented, like somebody gets kicked off the island here at the end of each episode. And so Kat didn't think she was going to not only not win that challenge, she didn't think that she was going to make it through. She thought she was getting kicked off day one.
You're standing there in the bottom two. What's going through your head in front of all?
I mean, I knew I was going to be there. I knew I was going to be there. Like from the second the timer went off, I knew that my worst nightmare, most likely in my mind, was going to come true. And that was that I would be the first one to be sent home.
I don't remember if you swore. I don't remember if there was a bleep there.
Oh, they just didn't show me swearing. I was swearing a lot. Oh my gosh. I lost it. I was so scared to watch the first episode because I was so worried that they would show me having, a total meltdown in the kitchen. It was awful. It was awful.
Classic Wisconsin. Chef Kat Turner, they're competing on Bravo's Top Chef. She was talking with WTMJ's Sandy Mack. So what had happened was Kat said she was cooking up pan-fried walleye, and it was fitting the parameters of the contest, but, nice supper club staple here in Wisconsin. She didn't properly manage her clock, cut it too close. The dish was never fully plated, so some of the judges didn't even get a complete serving of what she was doing. Now, it just so happened that somebody else, one of the other chef's testants, was even worse. So
I was going to say, who did worse than
I guess
her?
the other contestant, like some of the stuff wasn't even cooked all the way through. Like, ugh. So she survives. I'll add this as well. Milwaukee's chef Dan Jacobs, who made the finals last season when the show was here in Wisconsin. Really cool. We Wisconsinites, we stick together. We stand by each other.
It was very sweet. I was on my Instagram one day and Dan slid into my DMs just to congratulate me and to say if I needed anything, back home, that, he'd be a resource for me, which was very, very, very awesome.
So that's Chef Kat Turner, Marquette grad from Sturgeon Bay, competing on Bravo's Top Chef. So we have a Wisconsin interest once again in the program.
Well, and then she did better in episode 2, right?
Yeah.
She made like a poutine with a cheese curd inspired something or other. And that's where she said, I know my way around a curd, being from Wisconsin.
Yeah, you would. Almost unfair, right? So Sandy Max's show, What's on Tap? You can hear that full interview on our podcast page. Get it on Apple, Spotify, or WTMJ.com.
Top Chef is back.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Regal Rexnord estimates a $60 million impact this year from tariffs, but has plans to largely mitigate their effects on the bottom line. The Milwaukee heavy equipment manufacturer said it will implement a strategy that includes pricing and productivity actions. Wells Fargo is closing its downtown Milwaukee branch on June 11th. The bank does not have plans to relocate or open a new branch downtown. Marquette University Athletics Director Mike Broker anticipates establishing a new facilities master plan for the university over the next couple of months. This could include the replacement of the Marquette gym, but there's no timeline for that project. I'm Logan Hansen for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Give your walls the best finish possible with Pittsburgh's Paramount Interior Paint and Primer in one. It provides the most advanced protection, excellent scrubbability, and delivers true one-coat coverage. Choose from thousands of color options and refresh your space for spring. View our entire selection of paint products today on Menards.com. Plus, check out the weekly flyer for plenty more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different, but one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
The place you want to go. Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The Bucks head into the desert to outshine the Suns.
Here's a great feed. Lillard beats Giannis, and Giannis rams it home on a tremendous two-man action there.
Our coverage starts tonight at 8:30. We are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, March 24th, our top story, a sad morning in the Marquette community.
I'm Michelle Richards, in for Eric Bilstad. Could the country's high court impact the balance of power in Congress?
I'm Adam Roberts, in for Debbie Lazaga, and it's pretty quiet Monday morning drive so far. Just a little light volume on 94 between the Zoo and the Marquette. And volume actually has lightened up a bit on 43 for now, north of the Marquette to Capitol. Do still have that two-car crash on the left shoulder, 94 west at Highway 100, left shoulder blocked with two vehicles there. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Might see some flurries to the north of the city today under decreasing clouds, breezy as well with a high of 44. Tonight's low down to 29 under mostly clear skies. Right now, 32 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a tragedy at Marquette University.
Marquette University police found a student dead in his off-campus apartment Thursday evening. 21-year-old John Kozer lived at Campus East on 14th and Wells. He was a senior, just weeks away from graduating from the College of Business Administration. Kozer was double majoring in finance and marketing and worked as a student employee at the Union Sports Annex. His death is still being investigated. The university is planning a mass to honor Kozer this week. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A mass shooting in New Mexico left 3 people dead over the weekend and more than a dozen injured. 4 people, ranging in age from 15 to 20, are facing murder charges. ABC's Matt Gutman.
Las Cruces' Mayor Pro Tem working to allay concerns of a surging crime rate, saying she's working with authorities.
We cannot jail our way out of crime. We must engage in holistic strategies and strategies that pull in our community-based organizations, nonprofit organizations in our community.
And overnight, the grieving community remembering the 3 teenagers killed. 19-year-old Dominic Estrada, 16-year-old high school baseball player Andrew A.J. Madrid, and 18-year-old Jason Gomez.
Gunfire erupted shortly around after 10 on Friday after an altercation broke out. After an unauthorized car show, 15 people were treated for injuries.
Dayton County authorities reporting an inmate attempted to take his own life Sunday morning. 42 years old, tried to strangle himself in the cell. Deputies intervened, took him to the hospital as a precaution, but he did not have major injuries.
A plane of deported Venezuelan migrants from the U.S. has arrived in their home country. It is the first since Venezuela's government recently agreed to accept them. Meanwhile, the dispute over those other plane loads of migrants sent to an El Salvador prison is back in a Washington courtroom this morning. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
National Security Advisor Michael Waltz claimed the violent Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, which the White House alleges the deportees are connected to, is acting as a proxy of the Venezuelan government.
TDA is acting as a proxy of the Maduro regime. This is how the Alien and Sedition Act applied.
But the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee disputed Waltz's claim.
I haven't seen specific intelligence about whether there's any connection whatsoever between Venezuela and the TDA gang.
The administration argues it deported the alleged gang members under the Wartime Alien Enemies Act, claiming the planes were already in international waters when the judge made his initial ruling.
The U.S. Supreme Court set to hear arguments today in a case that could make a big difference in razor-thin balance of power in the U.S. House.
The justices will hear arguments on whether to leave in place Louisiana's congressional map that includes 2 majority black districts and was used in the 2024 elections. The plaintiffs identify themselves as non-African American Louisiana residents. They say the state relied too heavily on race when drawing a second majority black district for the state's congressional map. The High Court must decide if it's gerrymandering that violates the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
How do students prepare themselves for a career in a skilled trade? One way is through direct training and competitions at nonprofit education association Skills USA. State Director of Skills USA Wisconsin, Jake Mim, tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News.
There's HVAC, construction, and teamwork, but there's also the urban search and rescue, and there's robotic controls, and there are CO2 cars for people that remember that. There are 73 competitions, including aviation maintenance and repair, that we're offering this year at the national level.
Skills USA programs also teach job interview skills.
Happening right now, some 1,300 customers without power in Milwaukee this morning. We Energy is reporting an overhead line problem near 6th and McKinley. They are promising, they believe they will have power restored by about 9 o'clock this morning. Coming up, do you really need 8 hours of sleep? Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
They did it again. Best of the best in the whole USA. Wisconsin's very own Siding Unlimited. Local and family-owned Siding Unlimited has won their 5th National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited has been installing Pella windows and doors for over 30 years and doing it the right way. Top-notch installation by their very own amazing craftsmen. Homeowners rave about their beautiful windows, easy to open and energy-efficient Pellas with an unmatched warranty, and about the excellence of Siding Unlimited's installation experience. Peace of mind, durability, function, daily job cleanup. You need great new windows installed the right way. You need Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Celebrating a national title on the ice. Sports at 7:15.
A Wisconsin company has been named the best to work for in America.
Madison-based Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation scored first place on the USA Today list for the second consecutive year. The company has 5,000 employees nationally and operates in all 50 states. Recently opened a second corporate location in Texas. Founded in 1996, Fairplace was also recently named a top workplace by Forbes magazine. More than 50 Wisconsin companies made the list. Other big national names near the top of the list, Fannie Mae and Progressive. John Merkier, WTMJ News.
Cuts to federal agencies are limiting launches of weather balloons. UW-Madison atmospheric and oceanic sciences professor Michael Morgan telling NBC 26 News in Green Bay how this impacts severe weather forecasting.
I think in situations in which severe weather is likely imminent, they may be able to ease back on that and be able to launch as necessary in those conditions.
Those balloons send back data about temperature, dew point, humidity, wind speed, and more to support forecasters.
How much sleep does a person really need? CBS's Michael George.
Sleep scientists say it depends. The Associated Press reports doctors generally believe 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night is best for your health, and getting less than 6 hours or more than 9 hours on average is bad for you. But experts add that everyone is different, and sleep quality may be more important than sleep quantity.
The CDC says the most common sleep problem are insomnia, characterized by difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep.
I don't know. I don't wear a Fitbit or one of these other things that tells me how much sleep I get. I know this much. I need more than whatever I'm getting.
Heard that.
Call it however many hours you want. 7:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The most common reason pain sufferers come to us is to be able to perform their daily tasks without suffering through them. Grandparents who want to be able to take their grandkids on walks and to the park. Or those that just want to be able to get out of their vehicle with more ease than pain. Rejuvenex pain treatments can help, and the sooner you get to calming down that pain, the better it will be. These are powerful, FDA-approved pain treatments precisely administered with an extremely small needle to get to the root of your pain. And before you know it, you'll feel the anti-inflammatory power of Toradol and the cushioning relief of hyaluronic acid. Positive patient results are regularities, not rarities. And we do this conveniently in office, so it's very easy for you. And we're in network with most insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, which could mean zero out-of-pocket costs for your pain relief treatment.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Celebrate a birthday, anniversary, or retirement this week with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. Buy one dinner, get one free. 7 nights a week. Google Fox and Hounds Restaurant and enjoy your free dinner.
Checking in with Adam Roberts. He's watching the traffic with Debbie off this week.
Trouble now on 43 South as you're exiting to Highland. We've got a crash involving two vehicles. Looks like another sedan SUV situation. Got a fire truck, ambulance, and a squad on scene. So that exit to Highland is going to be blocked as you are heading south on 43. Just be mindful of it. It's out of the way of freeway traffic, so it shouldn't impact your ride there, but that squad is pretty close to the exit. So if your exit to downtown is Highland, you'll have to find a new way to get into the city this morning. Elsewhere, just a little light volume on 94 still between the Zoo and the Marquette, and still working on getting that crash cleared up on the left shoulder, 94 west at Highway 100. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A couple flurries possible for you this morning with high temperatures in the mid-40s this afternoon, decreasing clouds late with some gusty winds out of the northwest. Tonight, mostly clear skies, low temperatures falling into the upper 20s with lighter winds. Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds, small chance for a sprinkle mainly down to our southwest with highs in the mid-40s. Mid-40s on Wednesday with partly cloudy skies, then warmer on Thursday, mostly cloudy with high temperatures in the mid-50s. As we get into Friday, more 50s with a chance for some rain showers. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now at 32 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Michelle Richards.
A lot of folks on spring break this week. In fact, they said the busiest day out of Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport was supposed to be Saturdays. Everybody's skipping town. And so Eric is among them. So Michelle is in for Eric today. Debbie's off as well. Can't remember where Debbie was headed, but Adam's in for Debbie.
Keys down in Florida.
Oh, yeah. That's one of her traditional spots, right, buddy?
Yes, sir.
She likes going down there. So we got Adam in for Debbie, then Tiff is in for Adam, Greg Pancake Hill back in the saddle, and I'm Vince Vitrano in for myself, just so everybody's clear as to who's here today.
Got to take notes. Got to take notes.
Busiest day for folks coming home from Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport is said to be Saturday of this week. The war in Eastern Europe still very active this morning, despite these continued talks to bring at least a first step to peace, limited ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine.
Happening today.
Just putting this in front of you. Back at the table, U.S. brokered meetings in Saudi Arabia trying to achieve that ceasefire. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers is in Washington, and she is reporting this morning. Ukrainian defense ministers on Sunday, the Ukrainian negotiation team began meeting with Americans in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, ahead of mediated talks due to take place this week. Their Russian counterparts expected to be at the table at some point as well. Meanwhile, these cross-border drone attacks continued over the weekend, in some instances deadly, both sides continuing these long-range strikes, despite agreeing in principle to a limited ceasefire last week. So that obviously hasn't happened, and what we're seeing here is much like what we saw in the Middle East with Hamas and Israel. Until there's a ceasefire, there is not a ceasefire. So both nations still going at it with one another, and these talks set to continue in Saudi Arabia today, brokered by the U.S., so that's something to keep an eye on out of Washington. It is 7:14, and sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. Just picked up a 2023 pre-owned with very low mileage Chevy Silverado 1500 LT, beautiful glacier blue. Love it. Looks fantastic. It's got a black cloth interior. Every time I get in this truck, I say, that is amazing. 8-speed automatic transmission. Awesome mileage, MPG for a truck. 24 city. Get this, 29 highway. Towing capacity, payload is big, all the things you love about Heiser. Here's what I love about Heiser, all the great programs. Whether you're talking a pre-owned or new, Safe and Sound program, right? Vehicle exchange program, right? Love it or exchange it. Valid on new or pre-owned vehicles, which is what I was talking about. Purchase or lease for the comfort of your own home. Roadside assistance for life. All the things you love about Heiser is all the reasons why they say every day, and why I always tell people at Heiser Automotive, today's your day.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. If you need a personal referral, I'm happy to do that for you. Just had another one of my friends reach out and ask if I could get him in touch with Johnson & Sons. They've got a big commercial parking lot. And not just for customers, but also some pretty big trucks shipping and receiving, moving in and out of there. So I reach out to my man, Jeff Johnson. I make the connection. They were talking dates for the walkthrough already. And the part that I love best, and Jeff copies me on all these emails, he tells my friends, look, I'll be able to discuss options. You don't want some company coming in there. Here's what it's going to cost to rebuild the whole thing. Start now. You're getting a no-obligation quote on the work that you need to have done. Let me make an introduction for you, or just tell them Vinny sent you when you call. Plenty of Johnsons over there. No subcontractors, asphalt and concrete. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
The Wisconsin Badgers are women's hockey national champions this morning.
Here comes Eden, looking, fired, save made, rebound, scores! Sims wins the national championship in overtime.
Yeah, she did. ESPN on the call. Kirsten Sims scored on a penalty shot to tie the game at 3 with just 18 seconds left. Then she scored just minutes into that sudden death overtime to lead Wisconsin past the Ohio State University. Wisconsin's second national title in just 3 years, 8 championships in women's hockey overall. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. College basketball tournament down to the Sweet 16 now. Marquette out. Wisconsin out. UW Green Bay women out. I picked St. John's to win it all. They're out. Bracket busted. End of story. This college basketball tournament update brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Bucks continue their Western roadie with a 9 p.m. tip tonight against the Suns in Phoenix. It's supposed to be 95 degrees in Phoenix today. I mean, who wants to get out of Phoenix in spring? Maybe Milwaukee. We'll see.
It's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat. That's right. I forgot. Milwaukee not back home at Fiserv Forum until Friday night. That's an 8:30 pregame right here tonight on your home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ. Brewers play their final spring training game this afternoon. That'll be a hot one. We've got the Rockies at 2:10 this afternoon. And the Brewers open the season against the Yankees in New York on Thursday. The home opener is a week from today at American Family Field. You can expect to see more stuff happening around the ballpark.
You know, we're going to try to look to do more things to activate our game experience, if you will, bring it out to the lot.
Brewers President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger, I talked with Rick the other day, like what are we talking about here? So he sees like a pregame party going on at the pedestrian bridge coming over from the east lot. So if you're east of the stadium, you got that bridge that takes you over the freeway there. So greeting you should be like a drum line, in-game hosts, Brewers mascots, think the sausages et al. So always nice to see them, right? Yeah. Welcoming you to the ballpark. DJ's stationed there, and then also near the clock tower as well for the folks who come in from the other lots and the Blue Mound lot. Brewers will look to do more things like this through the season.
We want people, when they park, we want them to start feeling that they're going to be entertained, they're going to be excited, and we want that feeling to start as soon as they're in the parking lot.
So again, the Brewers' final spring training game is this afternoon. It's a 2:10 start, and then the Brewers break camp. They head to New York for Thursday's game. Our Major League Baseball opener, of course, the home opener again next week, Monday, but the baseball opener for the Crew in New York against the Yankees on Thursday.
Hey, March Madness is here. Now, technically, I can't say March Madness, but I can say this. Our coverage of the tournament will be fantastic. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. Keep it tuned to WTMJ for all the updates you need on the tournament. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. During every sports update, you'll know about every buzzer beater, every upset, the Cinderella stories, and how the state teams are doing throughout the entire tournament. It's the college basketball tournament, not March Madness. Update sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. You know, I get a lot of questions about QC Kinetics treatments, people asking if they should consider it for their own joint pain. Well, here's how you know. If you answer yes to any of these questions. Is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees or hips or shoulders or other joints, trouble sleeping or walking? Do you want to avoid surgery, a long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing the things you love because joint pain is holding you back? If you answered yes to any of these questions, don't wait. Call now. Call QC Kinetics and ask for your free consultation and learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can help you get lasting relief. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
At 7:21, Debbie's off today. Adam Roberts watching the morning drive.
Checking in on that exit right now. 43 south at Highland is shut down due to a crash involving two vehicles. Looks like the fire truck and ambulance have moved, but that exit is still blocked by a squad. We've got some officers out on the exit right now as well. Just be mindful of it. If that is your exit point to get off the freeway, you'll need to find another way to do so. Elsewhere, volume picking up a little bit on 94 between the Zoo and the Marquette. Still got that two-car crash on the left shoulder at Highway 100 that's being worked on. It's out of the way of traffic there. And we've also got a broken down vehicle in the hail as you head from 894 north to 43. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast is sponsored by Dave Draycamp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Some morning flurries to the north, otherwise decreasing clouds today, breezy, a high of 44. Tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 29. Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds, 45. Wednesday, partly cloudy, 46. Thursday, mostly cloudy, 54. And Friday, a chance of rain with a high of 55.
Happy Monday!
It's time to look at the week ahead. Sponsored by Excel Custom Decks.
What a Monday morning.
At 7:22, this is the week ahead on Wisconsin's Morning News for our week beginning today, Monday, March 24th. Sponsored by Excel Custom Decks. Look ahead to your dream summer by scheduling an appointment today. Call 414-333-1888 or visit excelcustomdecks.com. Normally Eric's presentation every week, Michelle, so do my best today.
Going to be great.
This is where Eric usually says, what are the stories expected to make the headlines? What will you hear here on WTMJ? See on the local stations, read on your news apps, see in your timelines. And then this is when I say, why don't you just tell me what's going to be in the news?
I was going to say that.
Oh, would
because
you?
I listen.
Go
would you
ahead.
just tell me, please?
What's going to be in the news? Spring break for many local school districts. Indeed, why Eric is off through the week. He's on a family roadie. One of the busiest travel days of the year expected at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport on Saturday. That's the day Mitchell expects a peak in arrivals. Popular day to come home, apparently, for folks who've been out.
Make it a nice even week.
Sure,
Saturday
right?
to
Saturday to Saturday. Couple of things today. Tesla is taking the state of Wisconsin to court. You've never seen a Tesla dealership in Wisconsin, even if you think you have. Might have been a showroom somewhere, but we don't have Tesla dealerships in Milwaukee because Tesla owns and operates its own dealerships, and that is not allowed by state law in Wisconsin. Tesla taking Wisconsin to court. Some have suggested this may be precisely the reason that Elon Musk is so interested and invested in the outcome of the state Supreme Court race should the case ultimately make its way there. He is supporting Judge Brad Schimmel of Waukesha. Also today in court, hearing scheduled for the teen accused of killing his mother and stepfather in Waukesha County. 17-year-old Nikita Kasump accused of, but not yet charged with those crimes. The teen facing charges of stealing his stepfather's car and handgun. He was arrested, according to authorities on the run in the state of Kansas. Prosecutors say they are planning to charge him with the murders, but they have not done so as of yet. Also today and through the week, early voting, or what is properly referred to as in-person absentee voting, can continue through Sunday. Although when, how, where, and even if that's an opportunity to vote early extended to you is at the whim of your local clerk. You want to check with the clerk's office for a schedule. Election day next week, Tuesday. This week, Brewers opening day Thursday. We are on the road to start the season in New York, playing the Yankees. 2:05 first pitch on Thursday from the Big Apple. Tuesday, the Brewers welcome Major League Baseball's Senior Vice President of Stadium Operations to town as the crew will launch a new ease of entry experience at American Family Field. Some stadiums have this already. This is MLB's go-ahead entry system. Debuting this season in Milwaukee, essentially fans submit a picture through the MLB app, and then that allows the league to use facial recognition technology to help speed your entry into the ballpark. You comfortable with that?
You know, I feel like it's everywhere already, so...
Somebody's got a picture of me somewhere, right?
Not that it matters to me.
So you don't fumble with your phone for the tickets or any of that stuff. They just know who you are. They know you have tickets today. So,
but it's also not that hard to just show your ticket.
This is a tremendous hardship. Here's my phone. Also Tuesday, Second Lady Usha Vance, Vice President's wife, plans to visit Greenland. President Trump is repeatedly talking about purchasing the island, that self-governing territory of Denmark. Denmark and Greenland have both said it's not for sale.
I'm also coming to celebrate the long history of mutual respect and cooperation between our nations, and to express hope that our relationship will only grow stronger in the coming years.
So that trip coming up on Tuesday. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley set to give his State of the County address on Wednesday.
Early spring, everybody! Yeah!
No Penguins invited to this event, far as we know. County Executive speech will be at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. That is Wednesday morning. NCAA tournament continues Thursday. Only the Sweet 16 remain. 4 games Thursday, 4 games Friday, 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday, and then we'll have the Final Four set. Bucks will return home Friday. It'll be their first game back at Fiserv Forum in a week and a half as they've been on this Western roadie that continues tonight in Phoenix. Also, Bucks adjacent this weekend, Thanalysis Live.
Bullseye!
Thanasis Antetokounmpo, former Bucks player, Giannis' brother, does a podcast now. It's called Thanalysis, and his second ever live recording of said podcast in front of people at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, and you're invited. Putting on a big show here. Good Karma Brands would love to have you join us. Tickets are still available. Thanasis hosts the show. Guests include Bucks great Brandon Jennings, Brooke Lopez, new guy Kyle Kuzma, other surprise guests of whom I am not yet apprised, and I work here. So Show starts at 7 p.m. That's Saturday night. Gruber Law Offices Thanalysis, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. The incredible event also supported by Carbless, The Prisoner Wine Company, and McDonald's. Hope to see you there at the movies.
You must know something. I do believe that Jesus is most likely the Messiah.
Why?
Why what?
Why do you believe that?
I've seen too much.
I've seen too much. The Chosen, Last Supper. Interesting concept here. Christian story, multiple seasons streaming, but this season, season 5, a 3-part theatrical release. The week ahead, sponsored by Excel Custom Decks. Look ahead to your dream summer by scheduling an appointment today. Call 414-333-1888 or visit excelcustomdecks.com. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finished the week at 41,985. The NASDAQ at 17,784. And the S&P 500 will get us started this week at 5668. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
Welcome to another episode of Find Your Career Rhythm, where we explore the latest employee growth and hiring trends and how your company and your career can take advantage. It's brought to you by the LAK Group, who help companies and professionals harness their true potential. LAK, discover your human advantage. Today, my guest is Lindsay Crete. She's managing director at the executive search firm Spano Pratt. Lindsay, I know Spano Pratt focuses on finding top talent specifically for nonprofits. Let's talk about that. What is it about the nonprofit sector that makes it so difficult to find leadership?
Well, unlike the for-profit sector, leaders in nonprofit must have a more specialized mix of skills. The mission, resources, and stakeholders are dramatically different.
How so, Lindsay?
Leadership in nonprofits must be mission-driven rather than strictly profit-driven. It takes a different personality. Also, nonprofits have more limited resources, so creative use of dollars and fundraising knowledge are much more important. And nonprofits have a much wider variety of stakeholders involved, like donors, hiring committees, boards of directors, and community voices, especially during the leadership selection process.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. So how does Spano Pratt Executive Search help nonprofits find those leaders? And how does your new partnership with the LAK Group complement that?
Spano Pratt has experience working with nonprofits across the U.S., and we know how to work with hiring committees and boards, which is a must with nonprofits. From discovery phase all the way to onboarding of the new executive, we can help. And with our new partnership with LAK, it doesn't stop there. We now offer leadership development, executive coaching, and more.
Thanks, Lindsay. You can get started on your executive search at spanopratt.com. That's spanopratt.com. At 7:31, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, March 24th, our top story, a child stabbed in Two Rivers.
I'm Michelle Richards. Animals on the loose from the zoo.
I'm Adam Roberts. Still have that crash on the exit from 43 South to Highland. Got a squad there. 2 vehicles involved with this one, and just some light volume around it. Also a little heavy on 94 between Hawley Road and 35th Street in either direction. Still got that 2-car crash on the left shoulder out of the way of traffic 94 West at Highway 100. And a little bit of a backup forming now on 894 as you head west into 894 North through the Hale, as we've got a broken down vehicle blocking the right shoulder there. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Some flurries to the north of the city. Breezy high of 44. Mostly clear skies tonight. Low down to 29. Right now at 32 in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. A federal appeals court in Washington, D.C. will consider the Trump administration's push to overturn the order that restrains the use of the Alien Enemies Act to deport alleged gang members.
The appeals panel includes appointees of 2 Republican presidents, including Trump, as well as an Obama nominee. The administration argues the men who've been subject to the use of the enemies law have been thoroughly vetted as members of Tren de Aragua. But attorneys and relatives say several of those who've been sent to a Salvadoran prison are not members of the gang.
That's ABC's Stephen Portnoy. In Saudi Arabia, a U.S. and Russian delegation meeting to discuss the possibility of ending the war in Ukraine. There are no Ukrainian representatives at these talks. A 15-year-old is the 4th person arrested in connection with Friday's shooting at a park in Las Cruces, New Mexico, that left 3 dead and over a dozen hurt. It was 2 years ago today that a Mississippi community was devastated by a powerful tornado. That community was hit by a tornado Sunday. This is ABC.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:33.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a man arrested in Two Rivers accused of stabbing a child. 22-year-old Dominic Liggins accused of stabbing a girl at a home near 21st and Madison Street. Two Rivers Police, Manitowoc County Sheriff's Office responding Saturday night. A SWAT team arrived. Brief standoff occurred before Liggins was taken into custody. The girl did end up in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Presenting the plan to prevent lead exposure in public schools to the Milwaukee Health Department.
Milwaukee Public Schools submitted its plans to MHD, including its next steps to assess, address, and prevent lead hazards in district buildings. According to the submitted plans, MPS will prioritize older schools with the youngest learners for remediation first. The district has also hired 10 new staff members to help with lead cleanup and to help direct contracted employees. School inspections for lead across the district's oldest schools should be complete in May, but no details have yet been revealed on whether any other schools in the district are free of lead dust. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
3 schools remain closed this week because of lead dust remediation.
Road closures begin today in Fox Point as Lake Drive will be closed from School Road to Dean Road for a utility project. Drivers be detoured to Port Washington Road from Silver Spring Drive or Brown Deer. DOT hopes to reopen that road by the end of August.
An escape from the zoo. The new zoo up near Green Bay says 2 otters, Louie and Ophelia, escaped from their enclosure Thursday night and are enjoying exploring the nearby woods. Our partners at NBC 26 spoke with zoo director Carmen Murak.
We've got 1,600 acres out here of at that time, just a winter wonderland for otters. They're very well equipped to deal with these kind of conditions.
The zoo director asking the public not to go searching for the otters, but to continue sending reports so zookeepers can bring them home.
Well, like they're going to be okay, right? So she seems to suggest that they'll be just fine out there.
I think so.
Right.
My non-professional opinion.
I worked in Green Bay for many years, and for more years than I would like to admit, I was really confused why they kept calling this zoo that's been around for a while the new zoo.
The Northeast Wisconsin Zoo, that one?
East Wisconsin. It's been around. Like, why is it the new zoo? Was there an old zoo? Pretty sharp. Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or 2 with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, a $300 cup of coffee. News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge Ram.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, the buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris celebrate the life and legacy of Junior Bridgman with Dr. Lloyd Walton and Paul Pressey. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car,
better start looking. But you've got this, just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family. They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 7:37.
Brewers opening day Thursday for the season. The home opener a week from today. We'll look ahead in sports at 7:45.
How much would you pay for your cup of coffee, Vince?
And I get bent out of shape over spending, what is it now for bougie coffee? $6
Like
at least,
$6?
right? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
thanks.
All right. So
on occasion, a splurge.
Well, like many things you in life, you can spend as much as you want on a cup of coffee. And in London, there is a gourmet store called Shot Coffee in London.
Okay.
And they have a cup of coffee that in US dollars is going to be about $340.
I cannot imagine.
It's some special Japanese brand of bean that they use, and this.
Are we like out of beans except for this one stash? Is that why these are the last beans of this kind?
Maybe, I don't know. But in any case, there's, of course, an influencer who decided to try this out. He is 26 years old, and his name is Carmi Solito, and ordered it as like an iced kind of coffee beverage.
Apparently, they have to wear these specific gloves when serving this kind of coffee because it's so expensive. I have never experienced anything like this. It just looked like a normal iced latte, but at least the straw was made out of gold.
The straw made out of gold.
Oh, okay. But you don't get to take that with you, do you? I mean, now we're talking.
Probably not. Okay.
So did he like it or no?
Well, let's ask.
The amount of flavor I had going on in my mouth right now really caught me off guard. I have never tried something like this before. I got goosebumps. It tasted crazy. It didn't even taste like coffee. It tasted like some sort of fruit.
Tasted like fruit. Didn't taste like coffee.
Man, I guess.
So he also complained that the ice melted really quickly, so he felt kind of gypped because it was getting watered down. So then he had to like slam his expensive coffee drink before it started tasting like tap water.
Yeah, you want that to last a minute.
Right.
Since you paid $300 for it.
In the end, he wasn't too happy with his coffee, rated it 5 out of 10 stars, and said he could make better coffee at home.
You know how much something costs? Whatever some fool is willing to pay for it.
Right.
News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
According to the Census Bureau, more than 12,000 Americans are turning 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. 65 is traditional retirement age because it matches up with Medicare, but Gallup found 61 is the average retirement age. Some Annex clients retire early, but we also have clients working at 70 because they love what they do. You know why? Because they've got plans built by fee-only fiduciaries, plans custom-tailored to their lifestyle. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work building investment, retirement, tax, and estate plans in their best interest. Proper retirement planning doesn't start the week before you retire. Having a focused plan built by our in-house teams will go a long way in helping you reach the retirement you desire. It all starts with the conversation you probably already have in the back of your mind. It's time to put that into action and contact Annex. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Got to get in the contest. You've got until a week from today to enter, but don't wait that long. Lifetime Door is giving away a free garage door. Nothing to you, no cost. You get the garage door, you get the door opener, you get the high-quality install as well. Boost your home's curb appeal and value, and you get to look at that beautiful garage door just like I do in my driveway every single day. Entering is easy. Text GARAGE to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. Or if you're on the website, WTMJ.com, the entry form is right there on the front page of our website. Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. Beautiful garage doors, expertly installed door openers, and they want to give you one for free. For contest rules, visit the website, WTMJ.com. You have until 1 week from today to get in the contest.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Gadish Foundation and CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
At 7:42, let's get an update on the cars. Adam's in for Debbie today.
That's right, Vince, and we've still got some issues we're dealing with. One on the exit to Highland from 43 South that's still closed due to an earlier crash. One of the vehicles has been taken care of, but there's still one remaining there in that exit lane. And so a squad has that blocked off. Speaking of 43, running a bit slow right now from North Avenue heading north to about Capitol Drive. That's adding a couple extra minutes as you work through the tight construction zone going on there. Also a bit of a slowdown on 894 as you head west through to the Hale and then north. Got a broken down vehicle, looks like, on that right shoulder, but this slowdown is stretching back all the way past Forest Home to near 60th Street. So that's adding an extra 4 minutes on your ride from the Mitchell over through to the Hale. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. A couple flurries possible for this morning with high temperatures in the mid-40s this afternoon, decreasing clouds late with some gusty winds out of the northwest. Tonight, mostly clear skies, low temperatures falling into the upper 20s with lighter winds. Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds, small chance for a sprinkle mainly down to our southwest with highs in the mid-40s. Mid-40s on Wednesday with partly cloudy skies, then warmer on Thursday, mostly cloudy with high temperatures in the mid-50s. As we get into Friday, more 50s with a chance for some rain showers. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 32 degrees. Cool event coming up in Milwaukee, a couple of them actually, and you can still be a part of it. Both involve hanging out with firefighters.
They'll be like, "Lot of orange." 1075, fire on the 3rd and 4th floor. That's probably ladder 7, engine 34, responding right now. I'm like, I'm a person, not a walkie. I don't know what you want me to do with any of this information, really.
That's comedian Rachel Feinstein. If you know it, she's married to a firefighter, does a lot of material about that. Well, the events are next month, coming up quickly. One involves the Green Bay Packers, and both support the Professional Firefighters of Wisconsin Charitable Foundations. Firefighters Union, they have this charitable wing, and the foundation, it supports fire safety and prevention efforts as well as efforts to help burn survivors. And it's really important work. And as if they don't already do enough for us, literally putting their lives on the line, these firefighters are raising money for these other great causes. So Packers Tailgate Tour comes through town at the Baird Center in Milwaukee on April 8th. That's a Tuesday night. Food, drinks, hanging out with firefighters and the Green Bay Packers scheduled to appear. Josh Jacobs, Tucker Kraft, and Lucas Van Ness. Former Packers Amon Green and Jermichael Finley, as well as Packers President and CEO Mark Murphy. That's coming up Tuesday the 8th. The preceding Saturday night, I'm hosting an event called the Fired Up Fundraiser that is also at the Baird Center. It's a formal ball, so if you like to put on a ball gown, Michelle.
Sure,
yeah,
got
get
a
all
couple of
dressed
those
up.
back in the closet.
Yeah, right. Sponsorship opportunities are still available. Everybody's invited. You're your company if you want to invest in it. Tickets and tables for that event. And I'm the MC, so don't let that stop you from coming out. But done it a couple times before. This event is an absolute blast. The Fired Up Fundraiser and Charity Ball. That's Saturday, April 5th. Packers Tailgate Tour, April 8th. Both events benefiting the Professional Firefighters of Wisconsin Charitable Foundation.
He's like, nah, that feels fair. I hear you. 10-4.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, Forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Brewers home opener a week from today. The team's final spring training game against the Rockies this afternoon. Season opens Thursday with a 3-game series against the Yankees in New York.
Regardless of the temperatures or rain or snow or sleet, roof will be ready and we'll have a very temperate environment inside.
It could be any of those things, as we know.
It could be all of the above
right.
within a span of 2 hours.
Talking with Brewers President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger. After opening day, there's still 80-some home games this season, so it may be a record number of games this year with a little something extra for fans.
If you count our theme nights plus our promotional giveaway dates, there's probably 25 dates when we either have a theme night or a giveaway item.
So Star Wars night, Harry Potter night, those theme nights return. First theme night out of the gate will be a hockey night. Special ticket packages include a cool-looking Brewers Admirals hoodie. Tickets all on sale now. That's right! Brewers and Yankees, 1:30 pregame show right here on Thursday afternoon. Your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ. On the ice.
Hey, Badger fans, we just won the national championship. Let's go!
Let's go. Wisconsin women's hockey, 8th national title overall, 2nd in 3 years. It was seriously in doubt Sunday afternoon. Wisconsin down by a goal with less than 30 seconds left, but a penalty shot for the Badgers. Kirsten Sims with the puck.
Here is Sims moving in on Thiele to try to tie the championship game. Oh, what a move! She does!
3-3 at that point, and then it was Sims again just minutes into the sudden death overtime with the goal to beat The Ohio State University and claim the title for Wisconsin. Same 3 teams have played the last 3 years. Wisconsin again getting the better of the Buckeyes. Badger Sports Updates, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Bucks and Suns, Bucks and Nuggets then as well this week before the Bucks finally get back home.
I want a little bit of that momentum. I'm going to feed on it.
Yeah, it's been a week-and-a-half long road trip out west. Milwaukee in Phoenix tonight for a 9 p.m. tip against the Suns.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores has been voted the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Best in Thrift. So to all who voted for us, thank you. And to those who haven't yet been here, there are so many items to explore. And at thrift store prices, you can find a really great deal. At the same time, you'll be helping us help others, sometimes folks right in your own neighborhood. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Debbie's off this week. Adam Roberts watching the traffic for us.
Well, Vince, right now we've got two pockets of heavy traffic. One's on 43 north and south between Capitol and about Highland, where we've still got that exit closed due to an earlier crash. They're just now getting the last of those two vehicles out of the way, but that squad is still blocking the exit on 43 south to Highland. The slowdowns, though, are in both directions of 43. We've got some construction, of course, going on through that stretch between North and Capitol Drive. The other pocket is going to be on 894 West. We had that earlier broken down vehicle on the right shoulder, kind of impeding in that far right lane as you round from 894 West to head north. The broken down vehicle, rather, has been taken care of, but the backups remain. They're stretching past 60th Street and adding about 4 extra minutes on your ride from the Mitchell to the Hale. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast is sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Some flurries this morning to the north, otherwise decreasing clouds, breezy. It'll be a high of 44 today. Tonight, mostly clear, 29 for your low. Tuesday, sun and clouds, 45. Wednesday, partly cloudy skies, a high of 46. Thursday, mostly cloudy, 54. Friday, a chance of rain and a high of 55.
Idea man.
Now I know what it's like to be Brian Bulaga.
Innovator.
Who in 2010 stepped into the starting lineup for an old, broken down, washed up right tackle and helped the Packers to a Super Bowl title.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
Tausch loves to bring up Lou Gehrig and Wally Pipp. I hope he's nervous this morning because I'm not sure he's ever getting this job back.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Kohler Services, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Joined by ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde this morning. Marquette out. Wisconsin out. UW Green Bay women out. I don't know, Wilde. Not great.
Yeah, a lot of disappointment. UW Oshkosh's women in the Division III Final Four lost. UW Stout's Division III women lost in the Final Four. A lot of disappointing finishes for some really great seasons. Like, I know this is the part that matters the most, but the Badgers were picked 12th in their conference. And I still think if they play in Milwaukee, they probably are playing next weekend. But that's neither here nor there. Their season is over as well. So, yeah, my bracket stinks. The outcomes stink. And it's snowing still. So it's been a long weekend.
Otherwise, great. Brewers, boy, we were talking about the forecast for Phoenix as the Brewers wrap up spring training. 95 degrees for the high today, and the Brewers are an afternoon game there. I mean, nobody ever wants to get out of Phoenix during spring, but maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say this. I was thinking about, as I looked out my window and looked at the snow, and thinking about baseball starting, and also thinking about the draft coming. Like, we are always good for a good April snowstorm, not usually late in April, but I was thinking about looking at this snow thinking, ooh, are we going to get snow during the draft? And is that going to be a bad look for us in Wisconsin? I can't decide if that would be fun because, TV loves snow, but I'm not sure that would be great for the people who will be making the trip to our tiny town.
Depends entirely on what kind of snow it is, right? So if you get Thursday night, that opening night of the draft, kind of a pretty snow that, to your point, looks good on TV, but isn't overly disruptive, like shutting things down, that could be awesome. I think the NFL would love that. Oh, it's in Green Bay, the frozen tundra. If it's problematic snow, then that's a whole other deal.
Yeah, I just know that on April 14th a few years ago, we got 12 inches. I think that would qualify as problematic.
That would be problematic snow. Are you feeling buzz for the NFL draft? I don't know. It's hard always for us to gauge because we're in it. And so obviously there's buzz around here. We're planning for things, who's going where, what crews are going to be here, whatever. But just out in the universe, as you talk to regular people, I feel like I keep waiting for things to start getting exciting.
Well, first of all, Tausch would tell you that I never leave my basement, so I don't really interact with other people, which is not entirely accurate. But, I think for those of us that live in Green Bay, I think there's a mix of excitement and also some reservation because it's going to disrupt our daily lives, right? Like Oneida Street, I think this week they start building the stage. So now that will be blocked off. And Lombardi Avenue, you'll have to take a different route. And so I think for Green Bay residents, sure, there's a buzz and there's an excitement, but I think that's outweighed right now by the uncertainty of not knowing how it's going to disrupt taking the girls to school and that sort of thing. I think once you start seeing evidence of the draft coming, I think that's when the buzz will really start to increase. And I expect that to be happening in the next week or two.
Eric has wondered aloud whether or not anyone is going to the draft. Now, that's unfair to Eric. What he means is, are people from around Wisconsin going to go and make a day of it? We do expect, what are they saying, 200,000 plus will travel, but you feel like a lot of us are going to go, or are we just going to wait to see it on TV?
Yeah, as much as I want to crush Eric when he's not there to defend himself,
Yes.
I agree with him. Like, I'm super curious too. So I think I mentioned this to you guys last week. You know, Detroit had 775,000 people in a smaller area than what the Packers have to work with around Lambeau Field, and organizers are expecting 250,000 for the 3 days here, and they're also expecting a lot of Wisconsinites to be the ones who are coming, not as extensive of a out-of-town element where people are all flying into little Austin Straubel International. So, again, I don't know how you gauge that. I don't know how you know that if you're the NFL, because I still feel like this is a pretty cool destination for folks that aren't Wisconsinites.
Jason Wilde with us on Wisconsin's Morning News. Appreciate it, Wilde.
All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Be good.
7:58.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Regal Rexnord estimates a $60 million impact this year from tariffs, but has plans to largely mitigate their effects on the bottom line. The Milwaukee heavy equipment manufacturer said it will implement a strategy that includes pricing and productivity actions. Wells Fargo is closing its downtown Milwaukee branch on June 11th. The bank does not have plans to relocate or open a new branch downtown. Marquette University Athletics Director Mike Broker anticipates establishing a new facilities master plan for the university over the next couple of months. This could include the replacement of the Marquette gym, but there's no timeline for that project. I'm Logan Hansen for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses, and those of us who live here. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Well, last few months, we have had a lot of newsworthy events with an insurance angle kind of to each of them. The stream of events should remind all of us the importance of properly designed insurance programs. Jeff, tell us what you're seeing.
Thanks, Vince. Great to be here. Yes, 2025 is already off to an ominous start. A cyber data breach impacting over 60 million students and teachers, with dozens of Wisconsin districts impacted. Natural catastrophes continue to increase in both frequency and severity of damages. Although Wisconsin fared better than many states, this is no time to be complacent.
So, Jeff, why is that important to people who are listening right now?
Vince, while these events are destructive and expensive, they can be insured against quite easily. When these issues are ignored or handled improperly, they can change your life, drain your resources, maybe destroy your business. Quite simply, a properly designed insurance program has never been more relevant nor more important than today. If you're not getting good guidance from your insurance provider and they're uninformed on these issues, you're jeopardizing your assets, your business, and maybe your future.
A lot of options for insurance out there, Jeff. Why should families or businesses work with R&R Insurance?
Thanks, Vince. You know, we deliver thought leadership around asset protection. It's what we do best. We inform you of where the market opportunities are today. We work with you to best position your account or your company for review by an underwriter. And R&R can get multiple companies competing for your account. It'll cost you nothing to sit down with R&R Insurance. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to sit down and speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com.
The Bucks head into the desert to outshine the Suns.
Here's a great feed. Lillard feeds Giannis, and Giannis rams it home on a tremendous two-man action there.
Our coverage starts tonight at 8:30. We are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, March 24th, our top story, blame the wind for the power being out.
I'm Michelle Richards, in for Eric Bilstad, back in court to defend deportations.
I'm Adam Roberts, still dealing with this closed exit to Highland off of 43 South. The good news is both cars involved earlier have been taken away by the tow truck. Bad news is the squad is still blocking off that exit. So if you're heading into the city from 43 South, you'll have to find some other way than Highland to make your way in. We do still have quite a bit of backups on 43 North through the construction zone as you round to North Avenue, and then you make your way up to about Capitol Drive. You'll encounter those delays, and then a little bit slow as you pass that closed exit while people are stopping to take a look. Some other good news, those earlier backups on 894 West heading north, those have cleared up. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today on our way to a high of 44 degrees under decreasing clouds. A few flurries to the north of the city and breezy as well. Mostly clear, low down to 29 tonight. Right now, still stuck on 32. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, more than 1,300 customers without power in Milwaukee this Monday morning. We Energy is reporting an overhead line problem near 6th and McKinley. They have been working on this and had originally said they expect to have power restored by 9 this morning.
A tragedy at Marquette University.
Marquette University police found a student dead in his off-campus apartment Thursday evening. 21-year-old John Kozer lived at Campus East on 14th and Wells. He was a senior, just weeks away from graduating from the College of Business Administration. Kozer was double majoring in finance and marketing and worked as a student employee at the Union Sports Annex. His death is still being investigated. The university is planning a mass to honor Kozer this week. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A Dane County inmate attempted to take his own life Sunday morning. 42 years old, tried to strangle himself in his cell. Deputies intervened, took him to the hospital as a precaution. They did announce that he did not have major injuries.
A federal appeals court in Washington hears oral arguments this afternoon over President Trump's use of wartime authority to deport alleged Venezuelan gang members to El Salvador without a hearing. ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
A 3-judge panel of the D.C. Circuit Appeals Court will weigh the administration's push to overturn Judge James Boasberg's order restraining the president's use of the Alien Enemies Act. The appeals panel includes appointees of 2 Republican presidents, including Trump, as well as an Obama nominee. The administration argues the men who've been subject to the use of the enemies law have been thoroughly vetted as members of Tren de Aragua. But attorneys and relatives say several of those who've been sent to a Salvadoran prison are not members of the gang.
The administration argues it deported the alleged gang members under the Wartime Alien Enemies Act, claiming the planes were already in international waters when the judge made his initial ruling.
U.S. and Russian negotiators meeting in Saudi Arabia today, working on a partial ceasefire agreement in Ukraine. ABC's Guy Davies.
Talks between the U.S. and Russia taking place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia this morning, aimed at finding a framework to end the war in Ukraine. U.S. officials spoke to a Ukrainian delegation on Sunday. Ukraine's defense minister saying those talks were productive. But all this hinges on what Moscow will demand to end the war and what the Ukrainians are willing to give up.
Ukraine and Russia agreed in principle last week to a limited ceasefire. Both leaders spoke with President Trump, but parties have offered different views of what targets might be off limits to attack.
Security is ramping up in Greenland as the Second Lady plans to visit this week. A spokesman for the Danish National Police Force says it sent extra personnel and sniffer dogs to Greenland as the icy island steps up security measures ahead of a planned visit this week by Second Lady Usha Vance. The extra officers were part of regular steps taken during visits by dignitaries to Greenland, a self-governing mineral-rich territory of American ally Denmark. Vance's visit comes as President Trump has suggested the U.S. should take control of Greenland. Denmark insists the island is not for sale.
Multiple measles outbreaks in the U.S. now, especially among children under 17. Public health officials in West Texas stepping up efforts to get more children vaccinated.
In the Mennonite community in Gaines County, Texas, the prevailing view is that
the measles are good for the body,
says a man whose 6-year-old daughter is the one person who's died in the West Texas outbreak. He believes that catching the illness, as his 4 other children have, fortifies the immune system against future diseases like cancer. He was interviewed by the Children's Health Defense, an anti-vaccination group founded in 2007 by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Coming up, so who's going to tell you if you're related? Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
This report is sponsored by CertaPro Painters.
Hey, John Mercure here. Our home has become our happy place, thanks in large part to CertaPro Painters. They came out, they did a big job, and they did it big time right. It's CertaPro Painters. Right now's the time. Call and check out their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They will transform your house inside and outside. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, the buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
A Madison mortgage firm named the best company for which to work in the entire country.
That company is Fairway Mortgage, independent company, 5,000 employees in all 50 states. Founded in 1996 by Steve Jacobson, Fairway was also recently named a top workplace by Forbes magazine. And good Wisconsin company on the list, 50 Wisco companies making the list, including Quick Trip, Associated Bank, West Bend Insurance, and Menominee Falls-based Altosham. Fannie Mae and Progressive made the list on the national side. John Mercure, WTMJ News.
Selling a piece of social media history.
The big blue Twitter bird that hung outside the company's old offices in San Francisco for 16 years went for almost $35,000 at auction. It weighs about 560 pounds, measures 12 by 9 feet. After he bought the company in 2022, Elon Musk disposed of the iconic symbol and replaced it with a black X. He also sold off other items from the old office, including kitchenware and furniture. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
The genetic testing company known as 23andMe filing for bankruptcy.
The filing comes after a series of cutbacks, several attempts to sell the company, and finally the resignation of CEO Ann Wojcicki. The cutbacks include 40% reduction in workforce, about 200 employees, and an end to the development of gene therapies. Recent offers were well below its current stock value. The company says it has between $100 and $500 million in assets and liabilities, and it recently agreed to pay about $30 million to settle a suit over a data breach. Peter King, CBS News.
23andMe says it plans to continue operating through the sale process and that there are, quote, no changes to the way the company stores, manages, or protects customer data. But for those who have basically given up their genetic code to some company that may or may not even be here in a year.
Yeah, what happens to all that?
I don't know. I was mad at my sister. She did that once. She's like, here's my thing. And I'm like, hey, what about that? Like, what if I need to commit some criminal act someday? What if I need to, I said.
What if you need
to? Yeah, now they're going to be able to find me.
I did that too.
Are you worried? Like, are you?
Not
no
this
concern.
company, different company.
But either way, somebody has that. And
it's interesting. I found out some things about my ancestry that I didn't know.
You didn't know?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right.
They tell me I'm Scandinavian, for example. I'm like,
all right, very good.
Now I want to do some research, but I don't have time for that.
Sure. Break out the lutefisk. 8:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, WTMJ's Eric Vilstead here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
Oh, my God.
The Soties.
Thanks for the pretzel, Coach.
No Corona. All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Brian Noonan. I can't believe how well Milwaukee Weight Loss is working. I've only been doing it for 8 weeks. I've already lost over 43 pounds. I'm well on my way to my ultimate goal. I have a coach who helps me out. Everything is going terrific.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
8:12 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Debbie's off. Adam Roberts watching the cars.
So we've got another wrinkle on our closure of the exit of Highland Avenue off 43 South. So the good news is those cars I mentioned earlier, there were 2 of them. They have been cleared and are out of the way, but the closure still remains. Now it looks like, I don't know how to describe this. Are these, I don't want to call them garbage trucks, but they certainly look like it's some sort of city vehicles or highway vehicles are out on this exit now. We've also got another fire truck that's back out there. So there's some cleanup going on, probably some road debris from this crash earlier. Just be mindful of it that one of the big vehicles is nearly in that left lane. So just, the right lane. So just make your way over to the left and avoid that as you head through. Our only other slow spot is also on 43 through the construction zone from North Avenue up to about Capitol Drive. Just a little bit of a tight squeeze through there. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. It's snowing to the north of Milwaukee. Adam, what was your report?
Our WTMJ Sheboygan correspondent, who is my mom, said it was snowing pretty heavily up in Sheboygan today.
Wildy getting snow up in Green Bay. Nothing like that south of the city. Milwaukee and points south and west. Maybe a few flurries. High of 44 degrees today. Mostly clear tonight. Low down to 29. Sun and clouds on Tuesday. High 45. Right now we're at 32 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Now, here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Michelle Richards.
Going to be 8:15 on this Monday morning. Things jumbled around here a little bit. Eric's off for the week, so Michelle is in for Eric. Debbie's off for the week, so Adam's in for Debbie. Tiff is in for Adam. Pancake is back, and I'm Vince Vitrano in for myself.
Got it?
On this March 24th, just in case you're playing along with us this morning. Today begins week 2 for Dr. Brenda Caselius, who leads the state's largest school district. She begins her career with MPS as several schools are still closed for lead remediation. School resource officers, now in her first week on the job, are back in MPS buildings, and district's finances are still, at best, a work in progress. WTMJ's Adam Roberts in the studio with us this morning. And, Adam, you had a chance to sit down and throw a bunch of questions at the super. Now, you were at her first public appearance.
I was
to start last week
at Bethune Academy, where the big get, I think, that day was what was on the menu for the students.
Yeah, okay, right.
Waffles for lunch on St. Patrick's Day was kind of a move.
Alrighty.
And she said she loved the waffles, but that did kind of cue me up. You mentioned all of these issues that face the district, very serious matters still going on today. I had to get to the bottom, though, of the big first question. Is there any restaurant in particular that's caught your fancy yet? If not, I can give suggestions.
I was at Saz's, which I guess is the best place to go for Milwaukee locals.
That sounds like a subtle, hey, when I'm at Summerfest, get me the Saz's platter.
Right, yeah. Safe play and also a fine restaurant.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yes, several key actual issues that need to be addressed. Key among them still happening right now. 3 schools in the district closed as lead dust cleanup continues. And there's more testing to come at these schools, so it remains to be seen how many more, if more, will be shut down. So 2 new members already hired into Dr. Caselius' administration, and one of them has a track record with the district, a former director of business operations. His name is Mike Terza.
I felt that he was someone who understood the detail, understood the complex of large systems and how to move large systems and bring a level of trust and accountability and confidence to the team.
So key among that, Terza is helping to develop that comprehensive lead plan. So a guy with 30 years of experience was actually retired, brought out of retirement to come back in and handle what's going on right now. So a key factor and a name you may hear come up as this comprehensive lead plan gets talked about throughout the week.
I think that's a good plan. I'm largely in favor of reducing the size of the bureaucracy within MPS and putting more of those resources back in the classroom. That said, you want someone who's the lead czar, right, who's running point on all of this, because, yes, you have this handful of schools that are still undergoing lead remediation, but you got to test every single one of these buildings now and make sure that we're not in crisis mode here.
Right. I mentioned 2 hires. The other individual is just a comms hire. I don't want to say just a comms hire, but basically a liaison, another liaison between the district and parents. Dr. Caselius mentioning that there's been a lack of transparency between those at the top and those parents who'd want to know, okay, what the heck is going on? So this new individual would be to address those concerns. Also, key on the new superintendent's list of to-dos, especially now that school resource officers are back in and that saga has at least been tabled for now, the operational audit that was brought forth by Governor Tony Evers. It did not have a lot of nice things to say.
Of course, on my mind is how do we address the governor's operational audit, and so that we have a lean, efficient organization that really responds to the public's trust and uses money well and gets it out to students and classrooms, and that we ensure that there's a caring and competent teacher in every single classroom this fall.
Vince, you just mentioned the idea of trying to keep bureaucracy limited within a school district, so it will be interesting to see if that list of appointees grows or is limited. But this audit, which was released in February, again, did not have a lot of nice things to say. Quote, a long-standing culture of fear and reluctance to change at all levels. Doesn't get a lot more damning than that.
Well, especially when change is entirely necessary and required here if we're going to get to any level of success with an MPS.
Now, speaking of members at the top, a name that has been brought up adjacent to everything going on with MPS is the mayor of the city, Cavalier Johnson. Now, the mayor does not have an official working relationship with Milwaukee Public Schools, but Dr. Caselius, formerly the superintendent in Boston, says she has history in a capacity working with a mayor. The mayor of that city appoints members to committees that then pick candidates like superintendents. So there is that sort of working capacity in her past, but nothing official right now. And that kind of plays more into that, okay, how many cooks do you want in the kitchen handling what ultimately are decisions that will be for our children?
Fair enough, and whoever's in charge has to be in charge, right? One of the worst things you can be is micromanaged, right? I mean, so you don't want that. But at the same time, I have heard anecdotally from folks who are close to the mayor's office, close to the county executive's office, that they've had virtually no relationship with MPS over the last several years, that the prior administration wasn't interested in hearing from them, wasn't interested in their help. Like how can we help? And look, they're all trying to get to the same goal. So I didn't take that as the mayor's office or the county exec's office wanted to meddle in MPS business, but hey, this is a huge impact on the city, on the county. How can we help? And those were conversations that weren't happening and need to.
Now, speaking of the mayor, Vince, something I've been really curious about digging into. Remember a couple of years ago, Cavalier Johnson said his goal, lofty though it was to grow the city's population to 1 million Milwaukeeans. That's the phrase that's been 1 million people. Yes, that was the phrase we hear over and over again. Some have questioned how realistic is this goal. Now, one of the ways that you grow a city is by bringing more families into said city. Having your kids go to school, they stay in your city, they have their families, yada, 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 and you build families that way. Well, a lot of parents have to now make the decisions as they see these headlines about MPS, whether it's lead, SROs, financial delinquency. What am I going to do with my kids, and where do I want them going to school? Now, Dr. Caselius, as you can imagine, pitching fourth MPS?
All my children went to their neighborhood public school. They never rode the yellow bus. They walked to their neighborhood public school, and they had a great experience, and they are doing well now.
Okay, but there are still issues that need to be brought up. Some interesting statistics, Vince. There was a study done by an independent firm, Perkins Eastman, last year titled, "Who Are the Students of MPS?" It dug into the hard numbers and the facts of the situation. The numbers aren't great. According to this study, 1 in 6 MPS students attends the school within their attendance area. So think your closest elementary, middle, high school. And you brought up earlier on the show that, there's a lot of elements that play into that. It's not as easy as, well, River West Elementary is 2 blocks down from my street. Obviously, my kid's going to go there.
It's not how it works. And when we lived in the city, we toured. Actually, Trowbridge was close to our home in Bayview, and how it works is I think you do like ranked choice. When you apply to have a student in MPS, this is the school we'd like our child to go to, but it may not always work out that way for an assortment of reasons. And so, neighborhood schools is something that may be a goal, but it's not something where you can flip a switch and make happen.
And also important to note, last fall, it was announced that 13 schools within the district would be either closing or merging as part of their long-term facilities plan. Now, that was drafted before Dr. Caselius ever had a hand in the district, so that was not of her doing, but it stands to reason that those issues remain and those schools are still on the docket for possible closure.
Adam Roberts and his audience, if you will, with the new superintendent of public instruction for Milwaukee Public Schools, Dr. Brenda Caselius. Thanks, Adam.
You bet.
It is 8:22. Tax tips are up next. They're brought to you by the Neal Group. For less stress with the IRS, visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net for a free consultation.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. There are 5 filing statuses you can use when preparing your return: single, married filing jointly, married filing separately, head of household, and qualifying surviving spouse. Filing status is determined on December 31st of the tax filing year. Each case should be examined to determine the most appropriate status within the tax law. Often, couples in the middle of a divorce believe that they should file 2 returns, but that is not always the case. If the divorce is not final on December 31st, you are still considered married. But there may be a situation where married filing separately makes sense, even if filing jointly gives a lower tax amount. Head of household can be a confusing status. 2 unmarried adults living in the same home may each be able to claim head of household on their returns in certain circumstances. Tax preparers will get the best results for you when asking all of the right questions. For more information on this tip and other tax tips, go to nealgroup.net or stop in and see us.
Still got a closure right now on the exit to Highland Avenue 43 South. A lot of vehicles involved with this cleanup process right now. Be mindful as you work your way. There are multiple big highway vehicles that are cleaning up the leftover wreckage. The cars involved are out of the way, but you've still got that exit to Highland blocked off as you head towards the city on 43 South. It is causing a little bit of a tap on the brakes as you get south past North Avenue, which is a weird thing to say, but just trust me, it makes sense. Also a little bit slow as you head north on 43 from about Center Street to Capitol Drive. Everywhere else on the system overall is looking good. The only other incident right now is a broken down vehicle on 94 near, looks like Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. Happy New Year. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew, but they didn't because their books were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million, but because your books are a mess, you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Imagine finding out expenses were not recorded properly or sales were double recorded. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to clean up their books and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we like to visit our business clients. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
This March, Heiser Automotive Group is putting the pedal to the metal with our Accelerate Your Refund sales and service event. Tax season is the best time to upgrade your ride or take care of your current vehicle. And we're making it easier than ever to turn your tax refund into turbocharged buying power. Accelerate into a newer used vehicle or get essential repairs and maintenance done. Plus, with Heiser's exclusive Safe and Sound program, you can buy and service with confidence, convenience, and peace of mind. Visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
Your stress-free spring break trip starts in your driveway with Go Right Way, Wisconsin's largest chauffeured fleet. Start your vacation as soon as you leave your house by letting Go Right Way handle your rides to and from Mitchell Field or O'Hare. Luggage? Go Right Way has it. Traffic? Go Right Way handles it. Parking hassles? You won't miss them. Go Right Way's professional, on-time chauffeurs are background checked and their vehicles are premium and meticulously cleaned. Your journey starts with a ride you can trust. Book your ride today at GoRightWay.com.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. It's the perfect time to start planning for outdoor projects. Loctite Landscape Construction Adhesive works great for securing blocks, bricks, and stone. It's a true all-weather application that's water-resistant. Save big on Loctite adhesives when you shop at Menards. Plus, check out the weekly flyer on Menards.com for plenty more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
8:27 on Wisconsin's Morning News. A lot of folks are like this. I think there are probably adages in the How to Live a Happy Life books, things like that you never drive past a lemonade stand. Right?
Yes.
When kids are out
stop.
front. Right. You got to stop. You got a buck for them or whatever. I have noticed quite a bit of inflation at lemonade stands these days. There's some greedy kids out there, I tell you what.
$2.
You're like, what? Come on. But right, that's a thing that you do if you are able to and you see the kids and it makes them so happy and all that. So I bring that up because the other day I'm out for a run, which, if I'm being honest, increasingly is turning into walks. But,
It's fine.
I'm not like an Olympic
You're
athlete.
moving.
Right.
It's the
Not
important.
training for anything. There's more walking than there is running these days. Nonetheless, I'm out on it was a pretty nice afternoon, and I'm coming up through one of the subdivisions that we live in Greendale. In Greendale, we call it sections, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I'm coming up, and a couple blocks in the distance, I see tables set up along the side, right on that spot between the sidewalk and the road.
Funny time of year for lemonade.
That was one thought that I had, but clearly there was some sort of commerce going on here. And there's a pack of kids running around there, and there were signs, and they were like aggressively approaching people, walking dogs and whatever.
Their signs.
Yes.
Nice.
And so I'm starting to anticipate this, but I'm out like for a run. I have no wallet. I have no money. I have no anything that I think I can make a purchase with. So what did I do? I now begin taking steps to try and avoid having to pass directly by the children.
Are you going in people's backyards, like around houses?
So, I don't want to. And you can say, look, these kids are going to hear no 100 times today, but I didn't want to be one of those no's. So I'm trying to avoid having to say, no, I'm sorry, I don't have any money. So in Greendale, if you know our community, and is it your folks or your in-laws who live in Greendale?
In-laws, yep.
Your in-laws, okay.
We're in Greendale all the time.
So between these little sections, in many places, we have what my kids lovingly referred to as the secret path.
Ooh, secret.
They're not really secret. They're just basically sidewalks that look like they don't belong there, and they basically connect one part of the subdivision to another. So it might go through the side yards of two homes, and people are encouraged to go from here to there or whatever. So it's how we're all connected. Right, a shortcut. So I figure I head up, and find one of those so I can cut a couple over and then avoid the kids so I don't have to say no to whatever it is that they're peddling. I add about 20 minutes onto my run walk and find myself unable to escape walking directly at this table, which is set up. And then I had to, do you want to buy? And they were selling Girl Scout cookies, as it turned out. Do you want to buy? I'm like, nah, no, thanks. I'm sorry.
Could have Venmo'd.
And they didn't care, first of all. They're like, whatever, some old man won't buy stuff from us. Next, they were on to the next. I hadn't thought of that, though. I did have my phone with me. You think those kids would have taken Venmo? They're pretty savvy.
Maybe. Was there a parent there?
Yeah, give me your ma's Venmo. I'll send her some $2.50, $3. What are Girl Scout cookies now? $6?
$6.
You still got any left over there? You have a Scout.
I do.
Did you buy surplus cookies?
We did a cookie booth, so we did buy surplus for that, but we sold out. So we did our job.
So I don't have to worry about passing by your house there on the
No,
south side
I will not be
and
chasing you
disappointing your
down the
children.
street with, hey.
What a stupid thing to do. Took me forever. And I still ended up walking right by him. Hey, mister. 8:31 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. If you save for retirement in a 401k or IRA, let me ask you, do you know how much of that money is actually yours? Or will taxes take a bigger bite than you expected? Right now, taxes are historically low, but with growing national debt and government spending, do you think they'll really stay that way? Many retirees are shocked to realize the IRS might be one of the biggest expenses in retirement. Here's the good news. You do have options. Smart tax strategies can help you keep more of your hard-earned money instead of handing it over to Uncle Sam. At Drake & Associates, we help our clients create tax-efficient retirement income plans so they can enjoy their wealth instead of worrying about it running out. And here's the catch. These strategies work best when you plan ahead. That's why I'm offering you a free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to help you understand how taxes could impact your retirement and what you can do about it. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 right now to claim your free copy while supplies last. The longer you wait, the fewer options you may have. Take control of your retirement today. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you keep more of what you've earned.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. We put cool stuff in your yard. Patios, decks, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, screen rooms, even in-ground pools. You dream it, we design it together, then Outdoor Living Unlimited installs it for you. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
8:33 on Wisconsin's Morning News. I'm Vince Vitrano, Monday, March 24th. Our top story updating the plan to prevent lead in schools.
I'm Michelle Richards. Watch the roads in Fox Point.
I'm Adam Roberts, watching the roads across southeast Wisconsin. We've still got that closure of the exit to Highland Avenue off 43 South. Cleanup work continues on that site. It's not in the way of traffic, but just be mindful. There's some pretty bright neon yellow trucks getting some work done, so just be mindful of that closure. Also just got in a crash in Ozaukee County, right near Belgium on County D. We got the left lane blocked on 43 North, just east of Belgium there. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast high of 45 degrees today. Some folks to the north of Milwaukee getting pretty decent snow. Sheboygan County, Fond du Lac County, and up north as well. Some flurries for the rest of us. Again, high of 44 and breezy today. Mostly clear tonight, low down to 29. Right now, Milwaukee at 32 from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, presenting a plan to prevent lead exposure in public schools to the Milwaukee Health Department.
Milwaukee Public Schools submitted its plans to MHD, including its next steps to assess, address, and prevent lead hazards in district buildings. According to the submitted plans, MPS will prioritize older schools with the youngest learners for remediation first. The district has also hired 10 new staff members to help with lead cleanup and to help direct contracted employees. School inspections for lead across the district's oldest schools should be complete in May, but no details have yet been revealed on whether any other schools in the district are free of lead dust. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
A man from Milwaukee arrested in Two Rivers for stabbing a child. 22-year-old Dominic Liggins is accused of stabbing a girl at a home near 21st and Madison Street. Two Rivers police and the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Office responded to the home Saturday night. A SWAT team arrived. A brief standoff occurred before Liggins was taken into custody. The girl was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Liggins could face multiple charges, including recklessly endangering safety, physical abuse of a child, false imprisonment, and bail jumping.
With some stunning arrests for drunk driving in Wisconsin over the weekend.
In Kenosha on I-94, a man was driving nearly 100 miles per hour with a child under 16 years old in the car. 33-year-old William Bush of Madison is now in custody for OWI third offense, felony bail jumping, and other charges. In the town of Addison on I-41, a 25-year-old man from Oshkosh reached nearly 130 miles per hour. He was arrested for OWI and speeding. In Jefferson County on I-94, state troopers arrested 49-year-old Malabay of Chicago for his 8th OWI offense. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A missing Dane County inmate is back in custody. 33-year-old Anthony Gilbert was reported AWOL by police last Wednesday. He's serving his sentence for obstructing justice and possession of methamphetamine. Gilbert was taken back into custody without incident.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Updates. The opening bell about 6 minutes ago. Dow Jones Industrial Average up already 407 points to 42,392. S&P 500 is at 5733. That's up 65 points on the day. And the NASDAQ up nearly 1.5% so far at 18,034. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
He's Donald Trump's right-hand man, Elon Musk. And now Musk is trying to buy Brad Schimmel a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Because Musk knows when you buy Schimmel, he'll do whatever you want. Like when Schimmel gave a plea deal to a man caught with child porn after the man's lawyer gave Schimmel thousands of dollars. And Schimmel will ban abortion with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of the mother. Deeply corrupt and totally extreme. That's the real Brad Schimmel. There's a better choice.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I've made sure rapists, murderers, and child predators were behind bars.
Protecting your family and your most basic rights. That's Judge Susan Crawford.
And I trust women to make their own healthcare decisions. Brad Schimmel doesn't, but I always will.
So on April 1st, vote for Judge Susan Crawford, Supreme Court. Paid for by Susan Crawford for Wisconsin.
Pain can make you feel like no matter what you try, it's not going to work. Or it can make you try any and everything. And most times, that'll make you feel like you've been taken for a ride. It's hard to believe that there's a solution to your pain problem that works, is safe, and is actually affordable. But that's why most insurance plans pay for pain treatments from Rejuvenex, because they're FDA approved and they do work. Toradol and hyaluronic acid work together to substantially alleviate your pain. And we've seen patients experience pain relief for greater than 2 years after completing a series of treatments. Is it a one and done? No. But at as low as $65 per joint, it's an affordable alternative to surgery. And it's not an expensive cross your fingers and hope it works experiment. Especially for older pain sufferers, the pain treatment that Rejuvenex offers is worth trying, because the vast majority of patients who do live better lives in a lot less pain. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
You ever participate in one of those, charity sporting events or something? I know Matzik does the 100 holes of golf or whatever.
Yeah, I've done one of those.
You've done those?
It's really cool for a little bit, and then after you're 36 in, you're like, wow, not even close to halfway there. I'm going to be out here a minute.
All right. Well, a group of guys, the Men Opposing Sex Trafficking Group, so this is for a good cause, they decided to take on the world record for the longest continuous basketball game. The men's team played for 121 hours, 5 days straight.
120? Oh, my goodness.
And they raised like $300,000 for sex trafficking awareness. So they had to stay in the gym. They ate there. They slept there. They worked it out so that they had 5-hour breaks for some of the players. They did rotations.
The game continued on, someone was always playing, but obviously It wasn't the same 10 guys.
Right.
Okay.
And they did this. This isn't the first time they've done this, by the way. They also did a softball game back in September where they played 121 hours to raise awareness for their cause.
Okay.
So this is something that they like to do, apparently. But the score.
They kept score?
You want to guess at the score?
I guess. Why not? It's a game.
The
121 hours of basketball.
Yep. All right. Do the math. How many points do you think they scored?
I don't know. I mean, what's an NBA game? 48 minutes, right? No idea. I wouldn't even begin.
Okay. It was 13,096 to 12,972.
Wow,
so
a blowout.
close. if you know,
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things.
Counting over 10,000 points, it's pretty darn close. The majority of the points, or the end of the game, I guess this high school senior, 17-year-old, just did a bunch of dunks.
Nice.
At the end to bring that score up.
I hope they changed out the scoreboard guy too. Otherwise, that's a long time. 8:41 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Let's check in on the roads here with Adam Roberts.
Got some trouble in Ozaukee County near Belgium now. 43 North is closed. You have a freeway closure from County D because of a crash there. 43 North near Belgium, just east of there, is going to be closed. Your alternate route's going to be to take County Road LL and head north to Cedar Grove. You can then get out back on the freeway at Sauk Trail Road. But that freeway is closed, 43 North near County D, due to an earlier crash just east of Belgium in Ozaukee County. Some good news, it does look like that earlier closure on the exit to Highland Avenue should soon be open. It was just taken off of the map for the DOT, and their cameras are now off of that. So that bears good if you need to get off at Highland and head into the city. Everywhere else is looking good this hour. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Are you on track to achieve your retirement plans? Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We've recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move to Creative expands our ability to provide comprehensive wealth management, investment advisory, and retirement planning services. Now is the time to put your lifetime of hard work into action. For over 37 years, we've helped clients toward making their retirement dreams become a reality, and we'd like to help you too. And the best part, your plan will be completely tailored to you. Our in-house team of specialists will take the time to learn about you and your family, review your current situation, and find out what your goals are. Then we'll design a plan to help you get there. To get started, request your free meeting today with one of our fiduciary advisors by visiting creativeplanning.com. Whether you have met with us in the past or this will be your first meeting with us, we're excited to introduce Kowal Investment Group to you as Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com today.
I found a fountain of youth down there at QC Kinetics.
That's Henry Hinton, feeling like his young, active self again after treatments at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine.
I still have trouble walking down steps as I get older. I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference in my knee.
And that treatment at QC Kinetics used Henry's own natural healing properties, concentrated and placed right at the source of the pain. So Henry and patients just like him will enjoy long-term relief without surgery or downtime.
My knee is not hurting. I remember I was walking down some steps yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is not hurting when I walk down steps. I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics.
It's time to wind back the clock to days without constant joint pain. Start with a call to QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Quarter to 9 this Monday morning on Wisconsin's Morning News. It's not in Wisconsin this season, but there are Wisconsin ties.
Top Chef is back.
Let's cook, baby. Let's cook.
15 rising star chefs have come to Canada to compete in the ultimate culinary showdown.
Bravo's Top Chef back for another season, last staged in Wisconsin, largely around Milwaukee, some outstate recording as well. But this season, the chef testants, as they're called, are competing in Canada. I don't typically watch contest shows, Michelle, but like a lot of folks here in Southeast Wisconsin, I did pay attention to Top Chef this last time around just because I wanted to see how the city showed, how the state showed.
How everything was presented. You know, you recognize the landmarks that they're showing on TV and the food.
Yeah, right. And I wanted to be like, oh, why did they go there? Or, oh, I'm so glad they went here. And I wanted to hear what the other folks who perhaps had never been to Wisconsin, much less spent any time here, were saying about our lovely community, which is so a Wisconsin thing. I want people on the national scale to say nice things about us.
Well, and I think they did a great job, right?
They did, right. It was a really successful run. Well, so this season, like I say, it's happening in Canada, the show, but one of the chef testants is one of ours.
My name is Kat Turner, and I'm from Los Angeles.
Now, hang on a second, Kat. Kat Turner is an executive chef at a cafe in Los Angeles. However, she is a Marquette University graduate and originally from Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. I wish she would have led with that.
Well, that's where she lives now. She's
guess,
from
right?
Door County. There's a difference.
Yes, all right, fair enough.
Being from Wisconsin, everything I make needs to have some level of familiarity or accessibility. And I don't ever take myself too seriously. So, there's like food should be comforting, but also reflect this global lens that I've come to acquire from my years of traveling as a private chef.
So Chef Turner, she spoke with WTMJ's Sandy Max on Sandy's show, What's on Tap, as the show's just a couple of episodes in. If you watch, you know things were super headed for disaster for our Wisconsin gal.
The winning chef of this first challenge is Vincenzo.
Congratulations, Vinny. You just won yourself immunity in the next elimination challenge.
Okay, so that wasn't the disaster. Thing was, Kat did not think not only didn't she think she was going to win that challenge, she didn't think that she was going to make it through, thought she was going to get kicked off the show. That's how these things work, right? Is there one every week? Like they have one of these challenges, right?
Sure.
Kind of like Survivor, right? Somebody gets thrown off the island pretty much week by week. So Kat thought she was done.
You're standing there in the bottom two. What's going through your head in front of all?
I mean, I knew I was going to be there. Like from the second the timer went off, I knew that my worst nightmare, most likely in my mind, was going to come true. And that was that I would be the first one to be sent home.
I don't remember if you swore. I don't remember if there was a bleep there.
Oh, they just didn't show me swearing. I was swearing a lot. Oh my gosh. I lost it. I was so scared to watch the first episode because I was so worried that they would show me having, a total meltdown in the kitchen. It was awful. It was awful.
That's Chef Kat Turner. She's competing on Bravo's Top Chef, talking with WTMJ's Sandy Max. So what had happened was, and Sandy was telling me about this because she watches these religiously. She loves the show. And she said, so Chef Turner, classic Wisconsin, she's cooking up the pan-fried walleye. It's on special tonight, the walleye. She was not managing her clock right, and she knew it, and she was cutting it close. Her dish was never fully plated. So the judges, some of them didn't even get the complete serving of what she was trying to serve up.
Big no-no.
Yeah, right. And so how can they judge you if they didn't even get the side or whatever was supposed to happen?
The main part of it, the fish.
So it just so happened that somebody else had a worse night. Like their stuff wasn't even cooked all the way through. So somehow she manages to survive. I'll add this as well. Milwaukee chef Dan Jacobs, who made the finals last season when the show was here in Wisconsin. Really cool, showing how we all kind of stick together.
It was very sweet. I was on my Instagram one day and Dan slid into my DMs just to congratulate me and to say if I needed anything, back home, that, he'd be a resource for me, which was very, very, very awesome.
So that's Chef Kat Turner, Marquette grad from Sturgeon Bay, competing on Bravo's Top Chef. Her subsequent episode was better, yeah?
Yeah, I think she had to make like a poutine type thing. And
what's poutine?
It's the French fries with the gravy. It's a Canadian dish. So this show is in Canada, isn't it? Okay, so they're doing the Canadian twist. And she said she put some cheese curds on it or something. I don't know. I didn't watch it, but there was something involving cheese curds. And she said, being from Wisconsin, I know my way around a cheese curd.
Yeah, as you would. So yeah, throw a couple of cheese curds on it. You're good. It'll enhance any dish.
Anything with French fries and gravy and cheese. I mean, yeah, sign me up.
You want to hear that full interview with Chef Kat Turner and Sandy Max from What's on Tap? Check out the podcast page, Apple, Spotify, WTMJ.com.
Top Chef is back.
More time here before 9 o'clock. Adam, any idea if this thing going on in Sheboygan County is weather-related, or is it northern Ozaukee? Where are you at?
It's northern Ozaukee,
Okay.
Vince. It looks like this is just a crash. I'm not sure at this time if there's any weather involved. We do have snow impacting our northern counties and points above that. This appears to be just a crash for now. Working with the DOT to confirm more info. But what you need to know is 43 North is closed at County D just east of Belgium. This is due to that crash. Your alternate route is going to be to exit the freeway at, looks like County D, and then you'll want to take County LL north of there to Sauk Trail Road in Cedar Grove. That's where you'll re-enter the freeway and head north from there. But again, the closure 43 north at County D east of Belgium in Ozaukee County. That is due to a crash. Everywhere else across the system in our neck of the woods is looking okay. No other major incidents or delays. I'm Adam Roberts with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Deal extended, but time running out. Got the word earlier this month from Gina Della from Pella. They had this amazing financing deal where you could pay off your Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin project over the course of 6 years at 0% interest on their financing. That was set to expire early in the month. Gina Della went to work with their banking partners at Pella and got that thing extended. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But she's really pitching the Pella experience right now. Talk about quality control. You're dealing only with Pella. They're the manufacturer, they're the seller, they do the installation, and they service every product. So a 10-year labor warranty on all your stuff, that's baked right in. And if something ever goes wrong, you call Pella, and they handle it ASAP because it's your same team start to finish. And here's that deal extended through the end of the month. 0% interest for up to 6 years on your brand new Pella windows and doors. Now, certain restrictions do apply, and this deal now ends on 3/31. So the end of March. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Coming up on 8:55 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Want to hit this one more time. What a special celebration for your Wisconsin Badgers.
Hey, Badger fans, we just won the national championship. Let's go!
Let's go. Wisconsin women's hockey just won its 8th national title overall, its second in 3 years, and it was seriously in doubt Sunday afternoon. Wisconsin was down by a goal with less than 30 seconds left. Penalty shot for the Badgers. Kristen Sims with the puck.
Here is Sims moving in on Thiele to try to tie the championship game. Oh, what a move! She does!
At that point, it's 3-3, and then it was Sims again in overtime, just a couple of minutes into the extra sudden death.
Here comes Eden, looking, fired, save made, rebound, scores! Sims wins the national championship in overtime.
Wow, ESPN on the call. Kirsten Sims scoring on that penalty shot, as I mentioned, to tie the game at 3 with under 30 seconds, and then scored 2 minutes and then some change into that sudden death overtime. Wisconsin over the Ohio State University. Badgers' second title in just 3 years, 8 championships in all. You were watching.
We were watching with my girls.
I was kind of flipping bing, 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 basketball back to Badgers, basketball, then maybe a little golf, then back to Badgers. What an exciting game.
And watching Kirsten Sims in the huddle. So did you see this where the coach was like, talking up the girls or whatever, and who wants to take this penalty shot? And her arm just shoots up into the air right away. Incredible. She knew it. She was like, this is my game. I got this. Let's do it. And to have my girls watching that was kind of a powerful moment.
Yeah, did you give them the girls? I
Yep.
want you to see this. See?
This is what happens when you step up and you have confidence.
Yeah, that's awesome, though. How instructive. And this sport, that sport, what have you. I mean, what they've built there in Wisconsin for women's hockey is unrivaled right now. What did I just say? 8 championships overall, 2 in the last 3 years. That's a dynasty. So congratulations to the Badgers, and nice to celebrate that. Badger Sports Updates. I'll give them another one. Sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. WTMJ's Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi. That is up next.
Let's take the car and save the Fed. These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.